Good morning, everybody. It's been a while. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. It is the morning mouse chat. At least that's what we're calling it. And we've got Guns and Barbecue. How you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well.
And Gizzard Gary. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I don't know if this will just be a one-off or we'll do this more. I haven't decided. I have. Let me let G-Webs in here. How you doing, G-Webs?
Fair to Midland. Thanks for hosting. I didn't realize there was a link over here.
Oh, look at that. Webbs jumps in and the other person on the panel gets skipped. Should take that personal.
What other person?
Did you introduce the other person already? Is there another person? I don't know. I can't see.
Me? He introduced me.
Yeah, I got everybody so far.
Huh. Then something's going on with mine. No, say the audio kept like cutting in and out when you were doing your intro, and I thought it was just something with your intro itself, but apparently it's not just the intro. I'm going to try and jump in on my desktop here in a second.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Dude, you already ruined the show and it's like a minute in.
I'm an overachiever.
I will say, I missed you guys. I thought I was done, but when you think you're out, they pull you back in. I miss hanging out. I do go when I can on other people's chat, but it's not the same. Whether you're driving the ship or just riding along. But don't really have any set topics or anything. We can just talk about whatever we want to talk about. Hopefully everybody had a good 4th. We do have a fireworks ban in this county, which a fair amount of people just ignore, which I'm absolutely fine with that because it's the Independence Day. So you're supposed to do fireworks. It was nice to see, there's a neighbor out in the street with some of the neighborhood kids. They're setting off fireworks and, in a safe and sane manner. So it was nice. Unfortunately, the dog was not happy with it. He hid, and then when I went to bed a little bit early, when the fireworks are still going off, and he snuggled up under the covers with me till it calmed down outside. But that's how it goes, I guess. How was your guys' Independence Day?
Not bad. We drove around looking for places to put the drone up to look at what's going on.
I saw your drone footage. That's always cool to kind of see the fireworks from above or at eye level.
Yeah, I live too close to the airport, but here people just set them off wherever. So if I could launch from here, I could have been way closer to them. since I didn't know where another part of town would be where I could, have such this close vicinity, I just went to like the closest place I could go that I could go up. So some of those are kind of far away, but yeah, it was pretty neat.
How was it for you, Gary? Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. I'm back. Everything went well. I went and saw my kids yesterday, my daughter, my son-in-law, and my granddaughter. And we went out, took some pictures, went out for lunch and stuff like that, and had fun. Everybody was dressed up accordingly. And then I came home and I decided we had a celebration going on here, but they also had storms, so they delayed everything. And I was tired, so I laid down, took a nap, and woke up to the sound of the rockets' red glare and the bombs bursting in air as they were doing the fireworks at the park. And it's like, yep, it's 4th of July, all right. So that's pretty much the way my day went.
Let me put a poll out there. Fireworks. So we'll go with that. So it's just, did you shoot off fireworks? We'll get pulse of the chat out there. See what they did.
I didn't. I don't got that kind of money.
I didn't, but we haven't since they did the ban. I just I haven't bought any fireworks.
You mean the gun ban or the fireworks ban?
Fireworks ban.
Yeah, if we could get like bottle rockets and Roman candles, I would buy fireworks, but I'm not going to pay like, I think they're hundreds of bucks, aren't they? For the kind where you light it on the street and you walk away and it blows up into the air like pretty big. Like I get it, but I'm not going to pay for those.
Well, if you get like the big sets where it's got a whole bunch of different, those can be like $50-$100, but they've got a whole bunch of different kinds in there.
Yeah, I don't have like a party where, you want to give stuff to people. But like sparklers, got no interest in. Some of the little stuff used to be cool when I was a kid, but I don't care about it now. Like I say, I would shoot bottle rockets for sure. And I would definitely shoot Roman candles if you could get them. I'm going to say it again. I think they should make Roman candles the size of a straw, like a drinking straw, so that you could just kind of have like a sparkler that shoots off a little bit. Like that would be super fun.
There are ones that are smaller.
Those the smallest ones I've seen though were still pretty big, and I understand why, but I still think and I like the idea of like lady finger bottle rockets too, like where it takes like toothpicks or something. I'm all about the tiny fireworks. They don't bother anybody. You can have way more fun. So I like tiny.
There's one. They're called Morning Glories, and it's kind of a mix of a sparkler and a mini Roman candle. They only shoot out like maybe a couple feet.
Like where it's a sparkler, but like it pops and a little thing kind of shoots out randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those, I think. But I'm talking more like a straw, like literally a Roman candle with like everything smaller so that it like you can aim it like a little magic wand. Like you'd be, you know what I mean? Like a magician's wand or whatever. Like you'd have it in your hand and just get like 6 shots out of it or something.
White Rambo said I like mortars. Those are my favorite too.
Yeah, I never
I like the big boomers. But let me go through and say hello.
I like snakes.
Have you ever shot one of those instead of like throwing it into the air with a wick, like lay it on the ground and shoot it? Have you ever done that with any kind of fireworks, the big ones?
No, I would sometimes double them up. I'd put 2 of the projectiles in and then just twist the fuses together so it would shoot 2 of them up.
Because at Big Sandy, what they'll do is have the 55-gallon drums with dynamite and stuff, but then they'll also have fireworks out there because when the people hit them, with tracers or whatever, basically a firework going off on the ground on the other side of a hill in front of you. So you get the boom, you get the sparkle and everything, which is neat. Every once in a while, a fire from it, but they don't really make that much fire, even on the ground. But the boom is just so much cooler because it's kind of like directed right back at you. I mean, I wouldn't do it without that kind of conditions where you're shooting like a quarter mile away or whatever. But it is different when they shoot at them. I don't know. You guys have seen the footage from Big Sandy. It's neat, but the boom is just so much neater when it's coming from the ground.
So G Webs is out there first. Gizzard Gary, G23, Skagit Valley Guns wants to know who brought the bacon.
He should be in here.
I let him know that wasn't bacon. That was vegan, organic vegetable slurry that's just dried like jerky and then heated up in a pan.
That's why he was asking. He's very offended by that.
Goat Mode Genius 1999. Chris from the 740. He just put out a video on it's like the small footprint red dot, but it has a big window on it. Ozzy Osbourne. White Rambo. USMC. Good morning. Shayna Ewing. And I know there was Laughing Dog, 22 LR. Good morning. And it's asking what's going on with the midday live stream. For me, it's morning because I'm in the past. It's 9 o'clock. But since we retired the evening chat, which it does feel weird to be doing a chat at this time, but I kind of missed it. So I thought I'd just fire one up and see how it goes. And yeah, Skagit Valley Guns, he is my FFL. It's a bit of a drive. It's like to go see him, but you know, we're friends, so it's worth it.
So he's your enabler, in other words.
He's like a drug dealer. He's very good at his job, and it's tough to resist.
I don't think he has to be really good at his job. I think with your addiction, it just makes it seem like he's really good, but he's just there like, I got your fix, man. You're like, oh, yes.
Well, I'll mention something in passing, and I can make that happen. No. And then I usually do it anyways. Shanna said, I miss Washington occasionally, but not the BS involved with it. Yeah, I hear that. White Rambo. That's crazy. We used to shop there a few years ago. We lived on Whidbey Island, a Navy base there. Have a good one, Goat Mode. Yeah, it's about a 2.5 hour drive to go see him because he's on the northern part of the state. I'm more southern. And last time I went and saw him, last weekend, there was the World Cup visitors to deal with. So it was a 3.5 hour drive home. It's not fun. But I put out a short this morning. So if you get a chance, go check it out. I don't know if you've ever tried the dot and pencil, where you put a pencil in your gun and with no ammunition. So the when you fire the gun, the firing pin will hit the pencil and shoot it out. It's a way you can practice. So and it allows you to see, you put a dot on a piece of paper, put your sights on it, and where the pencil makes a mark, you can see if that mark is moving around, then you're not very steady. So you can practice being more steady and more consistent that way. I don't know. Have you guys ever tried it?
I haven't done it for that purpose, but I have done the pencil down the barrel to shoot the eraser.
I've done it to check striker before, but
So what else is going on? We had the Supreme Court rulings, the two rulings, the vampire law. I don't remember.
Hamani and I forget the name. Wilcox? I don't remember.
Hamani was the marijuana user.
Yes.
And the Supreme Court basically said that even if you're a casual user, then you that can't be held against you. You can't lose your gun rights over it.
Yes. Unless you had some sort of conviction.
And the other one was Hawaii had said you had to get permission in order to carry on private property that's open to the public. So like a grocery store, laundromat, something like that. And they said that you can't do that. The argument in that is for supporting that law was private property. They should be able to say, well, they can say what the Supreme Court basically is saying is the government can't mandate that to happen. But as a private citizen, you can still say, I don't want people carrying on my property.
Yes. Which that one, there's a couple of people that said like that one would be very narrow. I don't see anywhere that it can be narrow either. It's going to be like, yep, you're able to do this, or no, you can't. I wasn't surprised by the vote being 6-3 because I just felt like the anti-gun justices were going to vote anti-gun like they did. The Hamani case kind of surprised me with a 9-0. Like I felt like we could see that, but I was not optimistic to see it. So that was pretty cool.
I was a little surprised too. You never know how they're going to rule, who's going to rule which way. And you can kind of look at the past and see how the different judges have voted and get kind of an idea how you think they're going to vote. But like Justice Ketanji Brown she's considered one of the liberal ones, but she's kind of a wild card, really. I've seen her vote with the conservative judges, at a few times where I would not have expected it. So you never know.
Yeah, I think on some of the matters, it just depends on what exactly it is. But things like involving firearms, I feel like that's where you see, because whether we like it or not, that's one of those hot button topics for each side. But the Hamani case wasn't necessarily a firearms case. It was really a substance case.
And the Supreme Court will take up, they combine two cases, semi-automatic rifle cases, and I can't think of the names of those either right now. But I had heard that the lawyers for each of those were the same lawyers, so that might be a reason that they kind of combined them, since those lawyers were already doing those cases, so they just threw them together.
Yeah, if that's the case, I'd almost imagine that those attorneys had requested for them to be combined.
That could be.
One, it gives more ways to try and win the case to them, because with everything that I've come to understand, the circuits that said no, you don't get these, they decided it on different reasons. So there was also a case out of Illinois in district courts. I don't know if you guys heard about this week or not, where a district court judge, which from what I understand, he's typically anti-gun, left-leaning, all that fun jazz, where he said that it is unconstitutional to strip somebody of their firearms rights just because they had an involuntary commitment. Now, he does go on to say that during the time of their involuntary commitment, and maybe even for a time after, I believe he had said, it could be constitutional to still strip them of those rights because they could still be considered a danger. But in the case of the individual that was at hand, he had involuntary commitment, I think, back in 2010, and he'd never been back since. So he was challenging, I think, under NYSERPA v. Bruin. Then I can't think of the judge's name, but anyways, he actually cited the Rahimi case, because in the Rahimi case they said, we can disarm people who are dangerous, but only for the time that they're dangerous. I believe Heller was cited, NYSERPA v. Bruin. I believe the Hamani case
in New York.
What in New York?
You said this happened in New York?
No, Illinois. So
I have a question.
Okay.
Does purchasing a single box of 9mm count as voluntary, whatever that is?
Probably should.
So it's
maybe not a single box. Like sometimes you just want to play a joke on a friend or something. But if you're buying a case, you should probably be evaluated.
That's like a voluntary commitment. That's like saying I'm committing to too much of this. There's something
it could
wrong.
be an indicator of bad decision making.
Like a cry for help.
Yep. Like drinking
Drano.
Fireball. I like how Fosco's Drano, I say Fireball.
Pack Rat's Attic is out there. Good morning. The two semi-automatic rifle bans were Viramonte v. Cook County and Grant v. Higgins.
When you do a
If
show at
anybody's
this
curious.
exact time, you can't even say good morning because now it's technically not even morning for a portion of the audience.
Well, I can because it's still morning here. They can translate it into their time zone.
Is them talking about an assault weapons case anything, or is it just people desperately looking for something to talk about, and this is a thing that they can talk about?
What now?
Are you talking about? I was distracted by barbecue leaving. You're talking about the AR-15 cases that the Supreme Court says they're going to take?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, is that like actually news, or is that people just they need something to say, so that's a thing that they can say, so it's a headline?
I think it is a news because they are taking it. It's not they may take it. It's scheduled for the next session.
Yeah, but it's like a year away, right?
October.
Oh,
The case will be
October
heard
this
in
year?
October, and then the decision will come out next month, and
Oh,
not beginning of next year.
Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't like, there was some movement and we got headlines about it, but then, then they decide, no, we're not going to take it after all. Like they have to take it if they've gone this far or something.
Yeah, they announced they are taking it, so it's on the docket.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never
And
heard
they-
of the Supreme Court being like, "Hey, we changed our mind." Like once they grant writ
Certification.
you get to go.
All right.
The
So
magazine.
two cases, and they're going to mix them together and make a ruling based on two.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Yeah, that's not abnormal.
Is it going to win for us, or is that a mess us up?
I think it will be a win because I think we'll get a positive outcome from it. And being that they're mixed together, it doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make it stronger or weaker because it's two instead of one?
Well, we'll say it's all depending on how they rule, how narrow it is. But I think in my opinion, my uneducated opinion, most likely it will be a positive, and the fact that it's two cases together won't really matter.
Well, I don't know a lot about this, but I like that you're guaranteeing a positive victory for us. So I like that part of what I've just heard.
I'm willing to stake your reputation on it. That's how positive I am. And we'll see what they do with anything with the magazine ban cases, which weren't denied. So I guess they get pushed to the next session to see if they're going to grant cert on those or not. Or
Is there some cheat sheet? Where do you know about all these cases that are in some pile or some list or some drawer somewhere, and then the Supreme Court is deciding on them? Like, where do you guys hear about all this? Where's this?
One good source is there's a blog, Supreme Court blog, and they'll list when the Supreme Court says something.
But you got to you got to filter through everything the Supreme Court says for just the gun stuff that way.
Yeah. Usually you'll hear somebody else bring it up, and then I'll go look at it, kind of verify what they're saying.
All right. But we're basically at the mercy of somebody and discovering this stuff. And then
there's
attention.
I mean, people that's dedicated to watching for this stuff.
Like Crump and that guy from GOA.
Kind of, yeah, but fuck Crump. Excuse me. I'm not personally not a fan. Buy my shirt. Yeah, there's like a Four Boxes Diner, which unfortunately he to me, this,
He's different because
as
he's
a
like buy
as
my
a
book.
viewer, he's fallen into the same trap that'll. Well, I don't know if I want to call it a trap, but it's the same progression that you see from a lot of channels. Him, Washington Gun Law. They'll start out and you get good content that's on point doing this, and then once they start making money, you'll see a shift where they're just starting to pump out content. And
Yeah, then it becomes noise, and you don't give a shit about anything they say because they're saying something every week or every
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to
So-
step away. Are we talking about 4 boxes?
No, I was
yeah.
talking about your channel, but
Oh,
I
I'm a
guess
good
we
guesser.
talked about 4 channels.
So I will still keep tabs because you can still get pieces of what they're saying, but for the most part, I'm not watching every video that they're doing. Or even with the videos that I do watch, I'll just watch for the the information that I'm looking for, and then I'm fine with.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wouldn't have told me, I would have just disregarded the AR-15 stuff as like them desperately needing to talk about something every day. So I didn't think it was anything big. I thought it was just them talking about a slight movement of paper from one pile to another. Those Woods would say the sky is falling every day type of shit. Or like every movement of paper is a reason why the sky is falling, or we're totally safe again.
Yep.
And like I said, with the magazine ban, the 4 or 5 cases that have been bouncing around, there's a possibility that those will get GVR'd. They'll maybe after the semi-auto ban ruling comes out, they'll send them back down to the lower case courts to rehear them using the guidelines that they set in these rulings, which basically these rulings are just re-emphasizing all the rulings that they've already done, saying, no, stop ignoring this. This is what we said. Who knows? I kind of am at the point where it's not going to happen until it happens. So I'm not I'm not thinking about it every day, watching and sweating it. It's just, if it happens, awesome. But I'm not gonna.
If what happens, I'm sorry. Like I said, I had to step away.
Well, if they take this case or take that case, like with the
Oh yeah,
semi-automatic rifle bans, who knows if who knew if they were going to take them, or the magazine bans. I'm not going to sweat it. I'm hoping for the best, but if they don't, I'm not going to tear my hair out, rend in my clothes and wail.
well, and as you say that, the other thing too is that I've learned, especially from watching 4 Boxes Diner, is the court's strategic in how they take things sometimes. They'll take certain cases before others to set up for another case down the line.
Ron Wayne is out there. That's what I've heard, and I'm not dismissing what you're saying, but I'm just kind of okay if that's what they're doing. Great, but who knows, because they're secretive about their
100%.
dealings.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like that they do it for all cases, but I think some big hot button issues such as semi-auto rifles. I think that's one where we've got the justices to have a favorable ruling, but they wanted to make sure that they had plenty of precedent to go, hey, we got this one, we got this one, we got this one, and then we got this one, and this is how we put the nail in the coffin on this issue.
Skyzer Valley Gun said, I'd love to have SBS's, the SBS ban get overturned here. Yeah, short barreled shotguns are banned in Washington. You can have a short barreled rifle, but not a shotgun.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, which hopefully here before too long, I'll have a short barrel rifle.
I've been really thinking about that myself.
I'm waiting. The ATF, they in amongst their comment periods, the bucket full that they're doing right now is they're proposing to remove the requirement to etch your lower. So I'm kind of waiting for that rule to change, and then I don't have to engrave the lower with your ATF number. They're saying it's unnecessary and doesn't really help with anything and just adds unnecessary cost.
I have not heard about that one.
Ron 2A Matters is out there.
I bet you there's 12 out of the 34 you haven't even heard of.
Probably.
There's a bunch. I looked at some of them. I didn't look at all of them.
It's definitely a step towards no need, no necessity for the rest of the NFA.
There was one that I heard that really intrigued me. I haven't gotten to verify this yet, but in that 34, it apparently said the deletion of the ATF's registry.
Mm-hmm. That's the only one that has comments because GOA, it's the only one they focused on. The only one they have like a form letter you can sign and click a button and send in.
But my thing is, like, there's the admission that, oh no, they in fact do have the registry. Even after the GOA several years ago was like, hey, FOIA request, yeah, you have a registry. And they're like, oh, but it's not searchable because we didn't click this button to make it searchable. So therefore, it's not really a registry.
Yeah, that all goes back to when they started digitizing the old FFL records. So when a shop closes, that shop has to send in all their records to the ATF, and they were storing them in shipping containers. But there's, I don't know. We did it on the overnight. I can't remember how many there are, but so they started going through and digitizing them so they could get rid of the physical paper. And that's where you come into that software where it has the ability to search those files, but they said, well, yeah, we didn't push the button yet.
Yep.
A roll call outdoors. It's out there. Howdy.
It's like somebody going and looking at a bunch of windows and everything else, and they're like, well, I mean, I was thinking about breaking into this place, but I didn't do it yet, so you can't charge me with a crime. Well, no, it's still called, criminal mischief, where you're with somebody's conspiracy, like all kinds of things, but the government does it. And
you're talking about roll call being here?
Yeah, he'll look in your windows. He wants to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of guy you want looking in your windows.
I've been to those cargo containers. We did a show there one time.
Really?
Maybe twice. Yeah. Parking lot across the street.
Wow.
Oro has peed on the fence to those shipping containers. I tried to let him poop there, but he didn't have to poop. I was gonna say I don't know if they got rid of the paper as much as they just wanted to have the paper on digital for whatever reason, and then because I think there's just more shipping containers than when I was there. We could go look on Google Maps, I guess. But it's in West Virginia, between Barbecue and Rich, kind of. I think, kind of in between Barbecue, Rich, and Krabby Turtle.
What is?
That ATF technology branch, which is where
Oh.
the shipping containers are. I forget what the name of the town is. West Virginia. You know how West Virginia's goofy and
Martinsburg or
it goes
something.
up and around some other state? Does it go up and around Virginia? Like whatever it goes up and around.
No, it
it's in-
goes up and around the southwest corner of Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're up. No, it's not on top of you, is it?
No, it'd be way south of me, but it's Martinsburg, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, it's in this like weird area that's like barely West Virginia until West Virginia like goes over the top of something, and then there's that whole other part. I don't know where Rich is, but
I think it would be closest to Rich if I remember.
I think that other part, the west part of West Virginia, is where there's like the big no cell phone zone, and like it's like a blackout area of the country.
Oh, where they
Oh,
have the
that's-
like the roaming patrols looking for signals.
That's more south.
Okay.
The area up towards Pennsylvania and stuff. We don't do anything with our cousins. We still have all our teeth. Even the people over in Ohio, where West Virginia, you could say borders Ohio because of the Ohio River there. Even those people still value internet and cell phone reception, stuff like that. So those people up in that northern sliver of West Virginia kind of benefit from us.
Civilization, like
Yep.
being that close to civilization.
Yeah, that blackout area that you're talking about, like more southwest, south central West Virginia.
That's like all the nooks and crannies where like nobody in the right mind would ever try to build a road type of thing.
Oh, there's a place called Gilbert, West Virginia. I had to go pick up lumber at the one time, and I when you hear about the shacks that are built into the side of the mountain, dirt floor, stuff like that, I'm not kidding you. I went past an entire community of those, and I was like, oh snap, I can hear the banjos. I think I wanted to get out of there quickly as possible, and the road that I was on, I cannot believe was made for semis. It was crumbling away on the right side of the road away from me. So, I mean, obviously it'd be the right side of the road for somebody, but so for me, it would have been the left side. You could see where the guardrail was literally just suspended in air because the road had crumbled away and it's just being supported by the rest of the guardrail. I'm having to take up both lanes of traffic around blind turns, or else I'm going to put my trailer into the side of the mountain. I got on the phone with our safety department after I finished that load. I was like, we should never go here again. And if we do, we need to go clear back to Beckley, West Virginia to get the heck out of there, which is like 2 hours the other direction. There's no better way. I was like, the way you sent me is not good. I was like, look up the dash cam. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Do they put 360s on trucks now so that they can, for insurance and for that kind of thing? Like, so when there's a dispute with a driver, they can just be like, look at the 360 and shut up.
I don't know if they have 360s or not.
I just see them on a lot of vehicles, and they don't cost but like $200. So I'm wondering, the thing that would cost money is the data, like to have tons of
When I
360
drove,
dash cam data.
When I drove, they had a dash cam system that had 2 dash cams on it, one faced out, one faced in. And when they told us that they're putting the ones that are facing in, I was a driver trainer at the time, so all the driver trainer trucks were going to be the guinea pigs. So not even joking, every one of us driver trainers were like, we will park the truck, and you guys are going to look into the truck to see what's going on, and we're just going to be there whacking it in the bunk. Like, you put a camera in here and watch me, and I'll give you something to watch. And magically, they never turned on the
Then they added a bump
cameras inside.
camera and started trucker, like onlytruckers.com. And then
Right.
just started, you can get so much more bonus if you use
That
your
was one
break
of-
time wisely.
That was one of the few times that even the brown nosers of the driver trainers were like, nope, not happening.
I bet you it isn't going to be long. Here's what I'm going to say, and Woods will love this. I hope Woods is watching. They're going to figure out to where the truck, like, any kind of, I don't know how it works with trucking, but aside, if you're not like BJ and the Bear, where you're an independent trucker, if you're working for a company and they want to keep tabs on the truck and the driver, right, and all their load or whatever they're hauling, I know all the trucker terminology. They're going to put 360s on there. And as I was saying, like, the cameras don't cost nothing and the mounts don't cost nothing. And maintaining them wouldn't be much because you could, like I say, they're really not that expensive. But the data would be expensive. But then I was thinking, as I said that, who would want that data? Those companies that do your license plates and shit and then sell that to the cops. So I'll bet you it'll hook up pretty quick here where somebody will say to some trucking line, like, hey, we'll put the cameras on there for you. We just own all the data. You can use the data just anytime you want, but we own it. And then they'll sell that data to whoever, and companies need it. Because then you basically, all those traffic cameras, they don't even need them. They'll just have 360s on every truck that exists, or most of the trucks, like the Amazon trucks. I'm surprised Amazon probably already has their own database of everything that their trucks see. I'm sure they do, because they have self-driving trucks at this point. They're probably using all their trucks to help their self-driving trucks do better.
Let me end the poll. And did you shoot off fireworks? 73% said no. 27% said yes.
Should it be a crime if you didn't shoot off fireworks on the 250th anniversary?
Should.
I'm a little surprised. I thought it would have been closer to 50-50.
The people who didn't probably shoot 9mm.
There was a lot more fireworks than normal, I would say. The weird thing is that they started as soon as it got dark, like people, because it doesn't get dark till like 8:30 or something. So that made sense that as soon as it got dark, they all started, but they were done before 10. Like I hardly even heard fireworks after 10, except for the random dumbass kids. Usually they go till midnight. Fewer of them, but till midnight.
Ex-Bowman's out there. Morning.
Did y'all have more fireworks in your area than normal?
I would have to say in my town, yes. They were going on pretty much all night long and all over the city. And even where my daughter lives, they were shooting them off during the day. In fact, they almost had the street blocked off. So, yeah, I saw quite a bit.
People were shooting them off during the day. I mean, you can't see nothing, but I guess you can hear them.
It was about the same here. It is kind of funny. You can tell who went to the reservation to buy fireworks and who didn't.
Like pop, 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 like at chest level versus like the whole neighborhood hears a boom and there's like a sparkle rain coming down. There was somebody that bought some a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, and where I live and where there's blocks and stuff, so like on the street over, like a block away. So I could see them, but they were barely going up like 3 stories. Like, normal firework, I think was, well, I can tell from my drone, normal fireworks right now are about 100 feet in the air. These were probably only going like 50 feet up. Like they were barely going higher than a second story house, but we don't have any second story houses. But when it was going off, like there was sparkles and shit hitting the neighbors' yards. And I was like, holy crap, it's going to start a fire. But I guess there's really no energy in the sparkle that we see, like the little sparkles that are dissipating, that can't really start a fire. It needs to be right at the beginning of the firework to actually start a fire. I've just seen too many of the sparkles hit, like dry grass, and it doesn't do anything. A kid was running around with kind of what you were talking about, probably like a sparkler that seemed to be dropping chunks off of it, right? Like maybe a giant sparkler that was just somebody had bent the rod and the stuff wasn't staying on. Have you ever done that? And it was just falling off in chunks into their yard. And right now the yards are all just dried grass, and it wasn't whatever was falling off of his sparkler wasn't starting the lawn on fire.
Ron Wayne said yes, noticeably more. Pack Rat's Attic. We had a ton at the River Walk. Laughing Dog. Definitely more fireworks in my neck of the woods. Skagit Valley Gun said the pro move is to go to the reservation to watch them shoot off their fireworks for free.
Oh yeah, and I think that's why most people didn't shoot them themselves, right? Because all you really have to do these days is go outside or stand on your roof or go on a hill.
I feel like the pro move would be for Skagit Valley Guns to jump in here.
I
Can you
did
whisper
take
softer?
my daughter to buy fireworks, if that counts.
Could you see him like just looking out your window on the third floor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
The neighbor kids had these, they were like bottle rockets, but when they would shoot up, they were really slow. It was like half the speed of a normal bottle rocket, and they'd only go
Oh, shit.
maybe 20 feet up. It
Oh, man.
was kind of cool.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, especially for having a bottle rocket fight, because that would be harder to aim or like, cooler to aim. Like that sounds cool.
Bottle rockets are easy to aim. If you light them while you're holding the stick and then you throw them in the direction you want them to go.
I've done that. We always would take like a piece of PVC that was maybe as long as your forearm or something, like a little bit longer than the stick. And then you light it and wing it, like point the stick, except really fast. Like, so you're kind of winging it and then it launches. That was my favorite thing ever. That was almost like anime, like in a Robotech or something, like the missiles shoot out and then they ignite and they're just kind of spin all over the place. Like we got that effect from it. But they were pretty accurate too, if you see what I'm saying.
Skagit Valley said he's got laryngitis.
Sounds like vaginitis.
Grim said hardly any fireworks this year for my town, which is crazy because last year was a war zone.
Huh. Maybe they arrested the like 2 or 3 people that were having the big fireworks competition. I assume that's what's happening in like different neighborhoods, like different families or whatever, different dudes like go out and, compete with another guy on the other side of the cul-de-sac or something. Cause you can kind of see that it's like do, 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 do. And then a little while later, somebody else's like volley goes up. Then that first person's volley goes up and, like another neighborhood over, the same kind of thing is happening.
Ron Wade said we get smoke booms and sparklers and watch everyone else burn their money.
And then I wonder how many people that live in like a cul-de-sac. We have tons of cul-de-sacs in Arizona, in Tucson. So I wonder how many people, just all throw $100 in there, like you're saying, buy a $1,500 pack where it's doesn't, just a little bit to everybody, and then they just set it off in the middle and everybody gets to enjoy it. I'm sure that happens.
Skagit Valley said caught a cold last month. That took my voice.
Oh, that's awful.
If you don't chase them, you can't catch them. Just saying.
That's why you should never chase a waterfall. You don't want to catch that.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Are you trying to not wake anybody up or something? Like you're whispering into the mic.
Oh, no, that's just my mic.
Oh, so what else is going on? Anything else new? I bought a Henry, and that's why I went up to Skagit Valley Guns to do the paperwork for my 10-day wait of safety. So in Sunday after next, I can go pick it up.
I mean, that's safe, I guess, but I feel like it would be safer if you were obligated to go tell your neighbors during this 10-day period, at least 10 of your neighbors, to warn them that a gun is coming into the neighborhood so that they can prepare.
Well, I'm buying a gun. I'm not a registered sex offender.
You're a registered gun owner, which is worse in Washington.
So I am looking forward to that. I did I did load a dummy round, getting ready for it. So I'm looking forward to shooting these.
Shooting dummy rounds?
No. Lipstick. This 4570. I'm gonna load. So these ones are 350 grain. I've got 405, which is the original bullet for 4570. And then I've got some 325 FTX Hornady, which I hadn't planned on loading, but I had bought some pull down brass, and it's from Grafs and Son, which they're already primed, because basically they just, for whatever reason, they pull apart these bullets and sell the components. So I bought the primed
I see.
brass.
So all you got to do is like reassemble them way faster.
Yeah. And it said mixed head stamps, which, I'm fine with. But turns out they were all Hornady, which the Hornady brass is shorter. So because of the XTP rounds, which are these ones here, they've got the rubber nose on them, so they're a little taller. So they cut their brass down, which meant I can't use that with the normal loadings. So I bought some of their stinking bullets, and so I'll load those. I don't know, we'll see how they do. And with the rubber nose, they're okay to use in lever actions. X-Atom 1 is out there.
What do you mean rubber nose?
They got a rubber tip on them.
That red projectile?
No, this one right here I'm holding in my hand currently.
That red part is rubber?
Yeah, it's some kind of rubbery polymer.
Huh.
It's the same. My 450 Bushmaster I load with the same kind of bullet, but like I said, the Hornady brass is shorter, so it wasn't what I intended. But we'll see how it shoots.
Is there like 16 recipes for 4570 or is there like 160?
It's like any other bullet. There's a lot.
Well, that's what I'm
Then
saying. I don't think all bullets have that many. Some bullets are weird. I'm sure for like 357 SIG, there can't be too many recipes.
I normally use the Hornady loadings. Just because it's easy and I've been happy with it. But like Lyman has theirs, so there could be differences there. Hornady, the bullet manufacturers will sometimes have their loadings. And I will say,
I never even thought about loading for 4570, so I was just wondering if it's something that there's kind of limited effort into it, or if it's something that's been played with a zillion times, like a lot of the cartridges.
Oh, there's a lot. If you search, it's when I was looking for powders, which powder to use, I kind of used on the Hornady website, not Hornady, the Hodgdon website. You put in the caliber, the bullet weight, and then it'll show you what they say are good powders to use, and then show you pressures and feet per second and all that kind of stuff. I just lost what I was talking about.
Well, loading 4570, I guess.
Oh, but if you search, the different forums and stuff, then you've got people who are experienced loaders who will take, well, this powder is similar. Maybe it's a little faster burning, a little slower burning, so they know how to kind of massage the grain weights and then find pet loads, stuff like that. Which you have to kind of be careful because you don't know. If you don't know them, you don't know how careful they are, and you might blow up your gun. And like Ron's saying here, there's a lot of difference between the 4570 modern versus trapdoor. The trapdoors, you can't go as powerful. And then because Hodgdon has 3 different listings, trapdoor, lever gun, and then modern rifle. Each one is kind of, you can go a little hotter. But I went through and set up my dies for the 350 grain. So that's what I'll make a dummy load, a dummy round, get everything set up and make sure I'm happy with how they come out. And I do want to say for Chris from the 740, big thank you to him, because when I started reloading just a couple years ago, he sat with me on, we opened up a StreamYard room and he kind of walked me through, answered questions for me, kind of helped get me going. So, I really appreciate that, Chris. I still have my notes here from when we were talking on the wall. I still need to do a video because I did the video on putting the scope on the Henry Golden Boy. So I need to do a follow-up to that. The scope I had bought was broken. It looked cool, but you couldn't adjust it. But it was, I had brought another scope out with me, and it was kind of proof of concept. So I am going to put a scope on that Golden Boy. I got some special scope rings to put on them.
Are they brass?
Yeah, they have brass on them. Kind of expensive for scope rings. They're $80 for the pair. $85, but by getting brass on the scope rings, then I didn't have to have brass on the scope itself. I did buy a scope that has brass on it, but that's for the 4570, which I'm going to put a scope on. So that's all in the future whenever I get around to it. Yeah. What else is up? What else is new? How did your dogs handle G-Webs? All the fireworks and stuff.
Uppy doesn't care at all. Like, he doesn't care one way or the other about noise. He just cares about eating. So Mello, I would say she started getting, she's, for some reason dogs have better hearing than us somehow. So she could hear the stuff that was happening during the day that I probably didn't notice. So she was freaking out since about noon. And then since I went out and went to try to get drone footage, I put her in the back of the cop car. And I think that was good. Like, I think being in a small space with us, like, brought the little dog and her. So I think that was better than just being at home, because at home she was just freaking out, and that gave her, I don't know, something to focus on. Anyway, she didn't do very good. I would say about medium. Some years she's done really well and like not even paid attention to it all. I don't know if they were lighter years, or maybe it has something to do with what fireworks are going off, or what neighbors are doing what. But in this case, I'd say it was about medium. She definitely was affected, but she's fine today. She's not traumatized by it or anything. It's annoying though. I don't like having to You know, I'm sure if like a door was cracked open or like, you know what I mean, like I wasn't paying attention, she'd book because she just gets panicked. And then I don't know where she'd go. You know what I mean? She'd just freak out running. Like I have no idea where she'd go.
What about you, Barbecue? How did your dogs? Do they freak out or are they cool with it?
Well, with where I am now, couldn't really hear anything last night. However, in the past, when there would be fireworks or something, my coonhound would literally lay on my head. He would be so scared. And Gunther, my German Shepherd, I'm not sure if he's ever heard fireworks now that I think about it, because I've been here the whole time. So, yeah, they were fine last night. That's because there's nothing in my immediate area that was being set off.
From what I
That's
remember,
true.
living in places with trees, like unless you go somewhere, you don't even hardly know fireworks are going off because of you don't see them because of the trees, and then the trees kill all the sound. You know, the thuds and the booms and stuff are drastically reduced. So I could, you know what I mean? Like from what I remember, we'd had like go places when I was a kid
Yeah,
if we wanted to see fireworks. You could get up on top of a 2-story house and see fireworks, but that maybe I think that
like
might
where
be.
I am, like you could hear people setting stuff off, but it wasn't anything that would make you go, "Oh, wow, that was a good one," or anything like that. It's just like, okay, there's stuff being set off somewhere.
How'd George do, Gary?
Sorry. George didn't seem to even notice, tell you the truth. Of course, George is 12 now or getting ready to be 12. So he's lived through a few of these, but he just took his naps and pretty much like it wasn't even going on. So
That's good. Ron Wayne said, make a Doc Brown scope for it, like Back to the Future. There is a company, Hilux, that makes scopes like that. They're really nice, brass, and they're long and skinny, but they're like $500. So I will probably never have one.
Are they made in the style of the olden days, or do they just
Yeah.
like modern to look like the olden days?
I don't know, but they look like it because they're long. Well, here, let me share a picture of it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Here's one of the models. This one's $475.
Oh, okay. I know people that shoot those not to look different, but because they like that kind of scope. Yeah, that's a thing. Like I've seen those on Garand's.
So yeah, they're definitely cool. They're just really expensive. At least I know there's more expensive scopes, and people who are precision shooters have those, $2,000-$3,000 scopes. I'm not going to pay that much for a scope. I don't care that much about being that precise.
My Athlon that I have is a really awesome scope. I love it. I just wish it had heavier reticles in it because I can't see the reticles now.
Take like a Sharpie marker and draw over the reticles on the lens, and then you can see them better.
It's a really good idea. I like that. I'm going to do that.
I would think those old-fashioned, those old-timey scopes were super durable because they knew they were just setting up on top of the gun. So they knew they were going to get clunked around. They were going into like saddle scabbards and shit. So I bet you they're really durable. Just my opinion. I guess I don't know. I've only seen them on the wall.
Does it help if you have an illuminated reticle, or does that just blur out for you?
So with illuminated reticles, I have found that a blue illuminated reticle is really awesome for me. The problem is with any really quality scope where I could adjust for windage and elevation on the fly and have it return to zero when I want to put it back to zero, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody is making scope with blue illumination. Everything's red or green. Now I have, like, on my old hunting rifle, I've got just a Walmart Bushnell scope. It's been on there for I don't know how long, and it works amazing. But with that, it's got a heavier reticle in it because it's, cheapo scope, and like the reticle I can pick up enough if I wanted to shoot that gun still. But one of the things I have on that scope are see-through scope caps that are yellow tint to them.
Yeah.
And I have found that those actually help me pick up the reticle better. So
What if
okay.
if you had amber shooting glasses, would that give you the same effect?
So I have experimented with that. I haven't experimented with it while shooting a rifle or anything recently. But I have noticed that while wearing amber shooting glasses, like, I'm almost tempted to pull a Clover and just wear those things all around because it does help things pop out for me. Last week, I think it was last week, I shot the best round of golf in my life. And that's not saying a lot because, like, I've never been good at golf, but I wore amber shooting glasses and it helped me see the ball a little bit better. And when I say see the ball, it's not like seeing the ball off the club or anything like that. Just seeing it in the grass. I still have to have somebody tell me where my ball flew to and everything, but it was really cool to see the difference that those could make for me. But yeah, that's something I do want to try and experiment with more when I go to the range again, is amber shooting glasses, especially with that Athlon scope, see if it helps at all. And also because I haven't tried them out with an illuminated reticle as well, and I want to see if using the amber shooting glasses with an illuminated reticle is helpful or not.
Clover Tack probably has a promo code.
Probably. Last time I talked to him, he's got like 10 pairs of those things just laying around that the company gave him.
I'm just going back up the comments a little bit. X Adam 1 said, I can't wait to get my own place. I want to make more videos. It bothers me there aren't many smaller channels that come up in YouTube. It's all high production pro videos. I think that has to do with the algorithm and pushing a popularity for views and profit.
I think there's an arc to social and there's an arc to YouTube and then like viewers' interest. So I think that anybody, I mean, I'm sure if we looked at the numbers, YouTube probably still gets like a lot of submissions, but I think the tastes have moved away from collaborating or being part of a community on YouTube, which is what all those smaller channels were part of, different communities and stuff. And then audiences could jump around or find ones that they liked, you know what I mean? But there was that dynamic. Now it's more of I'm going on here to scroll and I'm expecting to be fed what I'm interested in based on the logarithms. And in order to perform on that, you have to be you're going to be a professional channel because you're making money and all that. Yeah. I think the channels that aren't making money, that don't care about that drive, aren't being put on the feed. But I think it's not, I don't think it's intentional. I don't think YouTube said, you know what, we want it to be different now. I think it's just, I guess I'm saying I think it's more of a factor of the way people use the socials nowadays. I don't think people are like, I'm going to get on and see what everybody's saying. I think they go on for 5 minutes, scroll, and then jump off and go back into real life and don't have a lot invested in what they're doing on social. Because I think that was a laptop thing. I think that was a people at work or, at home. But now it's the internet is way more phone focused, and the socials for sure, way more phone audience focused. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I think go for it. Make a small channel and see what happens. Because I think the YouTube is still probably massive, and it's just a matter of you're never going to get on the main feed, but we wouldn't have been on the main feed for a long, long time as gun channels. Like that's just not a thing.
Well, Skagit Valley Gun said our cats didn't enjoy living on the reservation last night. Laughing Dog. I must have one of the few dogs that hears fireworks and gets excited thinking we're going hunting.
That's cool. I had a friend that had a dog that was an ex-hunting dog that would have been like that back when we were kids.
Ooh. X Adam 1 said, cheap illuminated reticles reflect off the inner tube. Great for daytime shooting, but not great for low light shooting. So it makes a better planker than hunting scope, in his opinion.
That
He
is
gave
something
two of
else
those
that
away.
I've noticed, because I have tried to look through those cheapo scopes with illuminated reticles at night, and like almost the whole thing just becomes the color that you're looking through.
It's probably just a flashlight in there shining on the reticle.
I have a couple, but I don't like using the illumination. I don't know if it's just I haven't used it, so I'm not used to it, but I don't like having it lit up. G23 wants to know, barbecue, have you tried a gold dot optic?
He can't afford that.
The hell's a gold dot optic? Never heard of it.
I do not know.
Well, gold's a different color, and then a dot optic is a
Yeah,
thing.
I'm not
with a
bougie
dot.
like that.
That's what King Tut used. Have you tried rose-colored glasses?
It's a great song, John Conley. You should listen to it, folks. Gee Webs didn't even
Everything looks
realize you
better.
just set me up for a country song.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what it was. So
It's called Rose Colored Glasses.
Pack Rat's Attic is suggesting you try orange lenses. He had a pair and used to wear in dusty conditions.
Interesting.
and every time you walked into a grocery store to buy oranges, you'd just see a bunch of rocks. You'd be like, "Don't you have oranges anymore?"
I'll have to look into orange ones, see if that makes any difference.
Oh. Laughing Dog said, I have quite a few illuminated scopes. I've never used the illumination. I think I've got two, or I know I have a Monstrum that's illuminated, and I know there's one other one which I what one of the reasons to go to Thunder on the Prairie. Every year I would win a scope, so I always had more scopes than I could use. And I'm trying to remember what that other scope was. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
The rule of thumb has always been if you got an extra scope, you just buy a rifle to put underneath there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know where you grew up, but
Well, I figured I'd just hang on to it, and then should another rifle come along, I can put it on there. But the
that sounds like
Bushnells,
hoarding. That sounds like hoarding.
the Bushnell, like the Banner and the Dusk Till Dawn, I'm a big fan of those. They're budget scopes, so they're not, they're affordable. But I think for what most people are going to do, if you're not, shooting a mile, just like hunting, if you're hunting 100, 200 yards, they're great. Nothing fancy, but you're going to hit what you're shooting at.
I'm going to trigger G-Webs here. I've always told people Tascos, like if it's just a hunting scope that you're throwing on a rifle, don't want to do anything special. I
See, all have a different attitude about hunting, I guess.
I say, well, I mean, out west it's probably a bit different. I mean,
yeah, people out here like plan a hunt and they hunt, and it's like a thing. You go out for a week and you hunt. Like if you're talking like climb up into a tree stand and shoot down at a deer at a salt lick, yeah, I get it. Like buy whatever the fuck works. Oh, sorry, buy whatever works.
Well, I mean, even if you're gonna go out for a week here in PA, you got trees everywhere. You're hard pressed to make a shot over 100 yards.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Well, I figure sometimes in a field, maybe like you get a cornfield or something where they want you to get them deer.
There's some game lands around that will have some fields attached to them, things like that. But overall, any of the public hunting lands, it's all woods.
I forgot about that. But like I say, most of the time you're sitting in a deer stand, looking down at a deer walking by. So yeah, it's not like antelope out here or something where you gotta shoot it from 1,000 yards.
So and that's why I say like I can't speak to new Tascos, but all the old Tascos that we still have on deer rifles that are 30, 40 years old that I know of, as far as the age goes, they hold zero year after year after year. It's insane.
They're not broken. I don't have a problem with them. I've just shot. I've looked through. I guess I've technically shot, at a whatever, like whatever you call like media day, right? Like I've shot through really good glass before, and then I guess technically I went to like I forget what distance. I think we were at like 600 yards or something. We did a competition I don't think we were at 1,000 yards, but whatever. We did like some kind of long distance, and I was using my irons. And on that shoot, I looked through some other people's glass. But so that's the thing. Like, I'm just saying, I don't appreciate glass, or at least I don't want to pay for glass. But if I was into glass, like if I felt like laying down and shooting all the time, then I am in the school of you buy good glass once, and then because of the clarity, not because of the other glasses doesn't work. It's just that it's like looking through your 16-year-old kid's car's windshield, and then like some guy who owns a Lamborghini and has somebody detail it every morning. Like it's just the clarity is so much different in good glass that
100%.
I wouldn't want to shoot through Tasco just because I'm only going hunting a couple of times a year. I want it to be, you know what I mean? I want good gear. I want to see the hairs on that deer when I'm shooting it, type of thing. Not so much that it's zoomed in, it's just that the clarity is amazing. Like it's just so good on good glass. I guess technically you're going to see your reticle better too, but the clarity is so much better on good glass, and it works for binoculars too. I'm not saying just on optics. And I finally bought I have a Leupold. What do I have? I finally bought a good pair of binoculars off of a friend, half price. Like, I didn't pay full retail for it, but I finally got good binoculars, and it's like, I kind of want to not go back. It's just, I own so many cheap pair of binoculars. I'm not going to rebuy my binoculars now. But anyway, that's all I'm getting at. Is if I was hunting, if I was shooting, laying down all the time, I would just want to shoot through better glass instead of making it work. But I'm not saying Tascos don't work. I will say some of the Chinese stuff I've owned fell apart, but I'm sure most of the stuff is way better than it was back in the 90s when I was buying scopes.
I came across a Tasco scope on Amazon. It was like a 4x15 for 22. So I bought it just because I thought my Marlin needed to have a Tasco on it. Then I sold it. Sold the rifle with a scope on it. Way back in the 80s, I had bought a Tasco telescope. It was a gift for one of my younger sisters. And that was the most powerful telescope I had ever personally seen. I mean, if you looked at something, you could see its thoughts.
I like that.
You're talking like a spotting scope?
No, telescope for like looking at stars.
Oh, okay. I mean, when I've gotten a couple when I was doing the Amazon thing, I got a couple of scopes that are, I mean, they're probably like $100 telescopes or something. But yeah, when you look through them, I'm like, holy moly, these things are super cool. Like, I can't imagine having something like this when I was a kid that I could just go out and look at. Because the thing is, I don't know if you pay attention, like if you subscribe to some of the channels that'll alert you, there's like the moon that does this, or like the last month, I think Venus and something Jupiter were like right next to each other. And then the moon came along and sat right next to them. Like, when those kind of things happen, to be able to
Yeah.
jump out with a really nice telescope and see it, that'd be super cool. I knew
I think
people in school who had good telescopes, but it was like I was at the mercy of them setting it up and then inviting people over to look through it. And then you got to look through it once in a while. You didn't get to own it or nothing.
the most I've ever paid for a rifle scope was like 180, and that was a difficult choice for me, whether to spend that much. But I'm not hunting, I'm not precision shooting. It's just basically going to the range and having fun. So I don't care if I put 2 bullets in the same hole. If I hit
It's fun to
somewhere
do.
around the target, I'm good.
It's fun to do. I like doing it. And what we have a range out here, 3 points. I don't know if Pack Rat went to 3 points very often, so it would have probably been far from him. But they had steals at different ranges. So you don't even have to go out there and, like for 600 yards and 1,000 yards and all that. I think it went to 1,000, or it goes to 1,000. It's still there. But you know what I mean? Like you have chickens up close, pigs, and then turkeys, and then sheep. So the targets get bigger essentially as you get out farther, and they're all metal and they can't fall off. They're permanent. Like you can be shooting them for years type of thing, and you can hear them. And anyway, those, or maybe the chickens fall off now that I'm thinking about it. I think you have to go set up the chickens, but that's the funnest thing ever when you have optics. I get it, but at that range, you're sitting, and I just don't like, what is that? I guess it's just called sitting, right? Where you put your elbows down. Some people use a rest. Like that's basically cheating. I'd almost rather either be standing, kneeling, or laying down. And I guess I could do it for a couple of months in Arizona, but the rest of the time it'd be like laying down in a frying pan.
X Adam 1 said, I did at one point buy a Leupold scope with a fire dot, but they priced themselves out of my range. He has a bunch of Leupold. I'm never sure. Is it Leupold?
They say Leupold, but
He has
normal
a bunch
people
of
don't know what they say Leopold. So you know what I mean? Like everybody doesn't know what you mean when you say Leupold.
But they're a bit spendy for me. Laughing Dog said, I probably have at least 8 or 10 spare scopes, so that means I got to buy that many more rifles.
For sure. Everyone agrees. And they're not that expensive, so you can get rifles cheap.
Pack Rat's Addict, I'm old enough to remember when only very expensive scopes had features like rangefinders, parallax, and other stuff nowadays. Low to mid-range stuff has that too. I've got a Burris scope. It's like a $650 scope that I won. And it's got like parallax adjustment. I don't know how to use any of that stuff.
Have you ever seen the kind of shooting where, I forget what they call it, but you basically have like a big piece of metal slab and then they put like a big vise looking thing down and then they bolt a barrel to it or something, and then they put like a little action behind it, and then you set it off with like a pneumatic hose that you're standing over 3 feet away, actuating a hose so that it's like the most precise, crisp trigger, and the thing don't move. So it's basically like a big cannon strapped to the table. Have you ever seen that kind of shooting? I forget what they call that.
No, that doesn't sound fun.
It's interesting, but it's like a whole nother level. And they definitely shoot. I'm pretty sure they shoot the bullet, has to go through the same hole, like without moving the hole type of thing. Like it has to go through the same hole every time or something. Like they don't miss because the gun doesn't move.
Laughing Dog said, I'm waiting for one of those rich YouTubers to donate per old boomstick, one of those $4,500 March scopes. 22 Guru said, sounds like a good time. And Pack Rat, I said, I think the next big thing is going to be digital scopes.
Me too. Especially as everybody gets old.
Like it has a screen.
Yeah, like basically like having a camcorder, on the front and then a screen on the back. And now you can put some optics in there, but whatever you do is enhanced with digital, so that one, it records everything, but now you can, do stuff like color reverse or enlarge for sure, like do digital enlarging. But now when you put AI into the mix, and now you can, that kind of stuff is going to start to happen where it can interpret the pixels and, get you much more clarity. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Plus you'll have like night vision to some extent, just
definitely in the early years of that now.
Oh yeah, we haven't even really played with it much because people are still strapping their telephones to regular optics. But at some point, some company, one of these companies that imports and just does a copycat of anybody that's doing something already, one of those companies will figure out how to integrate it. Like, yeah, there's already, all the tech is already there. Just nobody has thought to like integrate it and then put it into a scope. The thing is, you could put that into a spotting scope, into binoculars, and bird watchers would buy the shit. Oh, the other thing that they're going to add to that with digital is stabilization. I've already seen that with, was it binocular? It was with a app on the phone that you magnetically plugged into your binoculars. So you use the optics from the binoculars and you used your phone to interpret that optical data, but it would do stuff like zoom and stabilize. So yeah, digital is going to be the way. I don't even know if they'll probably look like long skinny rods because they won't need the glass, whatever that diameter anymore. At some point they won't need the diameter because they'll do so good with just a tiny diameter, so that things can, be a much smaller footprint profile and everything on the gun. If they don't just put it into the guide rod at some point. How long will that be? And then you'll have something in your glasses or in your temple, same way that what are those kind of hearing aids called that you magnetize to your ear or whatever, like it's in you? And then
the cochlear?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do something similar for eyes. So Barbecue will be walking around like, oh, he left. He couldn't handle this. But he'll be walking around.
I think he's having technical difficulties.
But you know what I mean? Like at some point they'll make like Geordi off of Star Wars. And then when that happens, somebody will be like, well, hot damn, we can plug that right into our gun optic. And now you'll just see however you want to see it in your own head, whatever's happening through your optic. I figure we're probably a couple of years away from that.
Hopefully Barbecue can get us.
Imagine how cool that would be for like trucks and stuff, or like vehicles. You have your blind spot cameras right into your ocular cochlear implant, or whatever it's going to be called, OCI.
I don't want that personally. I mean,
what if you could put on a pair of sunglasses?
Gives me more information than I want.
What if you put on a pair of sunglasses and that was your blind spots of your vehicle that you're in? So you could see through them like normal, but you got like the heads up display of what's going on behind you. So you would be way safer. Would that be okay?
I don't know.
Sunglasses you put on? Because all this is taking the sunglasses out of the equation and just zapping it right to your brain. No big deal.
I definitely, when my car's, I get a little older now. It's 2021, but it's got all the, at the time kind of modern features, and it was a little bit of information overload for me. There's stuff beeping and flashing, and I didn't want any of it. I don't personally didn't need it.
There's like lane. I was reading. There's like lane assist. I got the hiccups where like it. I guess it does more than just beep at you if you're not going if you're like drifting or something. Some of them
will turn your wheel for you if you're drive by wire.
Yeah, mine'll correct itself.
Which I've turned.
Can you let go of the wheel and read a book in yours, Gizzard? Is it that kind of thing?
I haven't had the nerve to try, but I did notice now sometimes when I drive home in the afternoons from my daughters, I tend to get a little bit drowsy / inattentive. And there was a couple times where it didn't jerk me over, but it caught me drifting over towards the line and corrected me, which is a good thing. I mean,
As long as it's jerking
so,
you
but
over and not some other kind of jerking.
I wouldn't rely on it. Now, I will say I rode in a car with the gun snob one time when we were driving to Las Vegas. And I think this was in '02 or '03. Anyway, I was asleep over on the passenger side. I felt the wheel jerking back and forth. So I woke up and I asked him what he was doing. He said, I just got bored and I decided to play with this lane assist. So I've been letting it just drift from one side of the lane to the other.
Gary paid
so
for
it
the
stays in the
Simonizing.
lane. It stays in the lane, but it doesn't stay straight. Like, in other words, it's like bouncing back and forth, and even though
It senses the lines and corrects itself to stay within the lines. Now, there's a limit. I suppose if you hit a rather drastic curve, it probably wouldn't be able to steer itself in time. It's going to be speed dependent and stuff like that.
do you think that it
So,
would would you think that it would know that you're not there and that it's going faster than it can? So would it then slow down, or do you think it would just wreck?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I do know that there's supposed to be some sort of collision avoidance in there where if it senses an object ahead, it will apply the brakes.
Brakes.
But
That's
I
what I
haven't
figured.
tested it by aiming at pedestrians or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Like, you could
Gary?
probably let it coast, just coast at a wall or something and see if it breaks before you break. I
Right.
guess.
I don't know how well that'd work with cruise
I would do
control.
that on a rental, not on your car. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it on my own car.
Yeah, really.
Gary paid for the Simonizing, so he doesn't care which way he gets jerked.
Wow.
Did we want to do a bracket?
Oh, we do
Oh,
brackets? Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
A
One of
daytime
those
bracket,
chats.
eh?
Nice. Can you do brackets in the daytime? Well,
It's
it is after
on a
lunchtime
Sunday.
now, so it's
On a
afternoon now.
Sunday.
Well,
Wow.
for me, it's not for Foz yet. But
Well, that you bring up. Where it is.
So how about this? As far as we're talking about cars, I think Mr. Knives told me to watch out for this, and I'm trying to figure out more about it right now. But I guess modern cars will turn off cylinders while they're driving.
Yeah,
And two of mine are in a place where it's a V8 and they turn off 4 of them, but they turned off the same 4 all the time. So when you have like a lifetime, the engine lifetime of running the same 4 only instead of all 8, it becomes an issue. Like, I guess they figured that out in modern ones. The car does a logarithm and it turns off different cylinders all the time. But I'm trying to figure out if that's going to be an issue on mine, if I should do something or turn it
that's
off.
interesting. I never.
I
thought
guess
about
there you
that.
plug in, the OBD2 sensors,
Yeah.
you plug a thing into there and then it shuts that feature off and it just leaves it a V8 all the time. So I'm probably going to do that, but I have to learn more about it because that's new to me. But as I'm trying to do tune-ups on these things.
see, that wouldn't work too well on my car because it's only got 3 to start with. I don't think you'd want to cut one of the cylinders off.
You got 3 cylinders in that car?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, the other one is a 6-cylinder and it doesn't do that either because it's not enough cylinders, I guess.
There are. I think. I'm not sure if mine does, but there are 6 cylinders that do that.
Oh, well, I guess it would make sense if it's a small enough vehicle, right? That's an Explorer.
Mine's a Passport, so it's the SUV. But when you're cruising, you don't need a lot of. You just need enough power to maintain the speed. You're not
right.
You don't need as much power as you do when you're getting up to speed.
For sure.
I was surprised, and I've got a 1.5 liter EcoBoost turbo in that thing, but it's got passing power when you need it. So really, for a small engine, and I tested the fuel economy on it yesterday. It's 33.7, which is pretty fantastic. But really, so far, I've been fairly impressed with what that little engine can do.
I watched the Ford was it called Ford Ferrari movie or something like that? Have you guys seen it? It's like
Yeah, it's a
talks
good
about
movie.
the competition between Ford and Ferrari back in the olden days. And yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, think about in the racing how much innovation there's been, right? Like how much effort they put into trying to get rid of ounces and get horsepowers and split seconds and all that kind of crap. So yeah, that kind of the results of that have to be our engines have to like your engines in 2026, right? Like that's got to be like so much more advanced than like my 2002 van over there, right? With the old Ford 350 in it, which all they really did was, I mean, it's the same 350 I had in my 1970s vehicles, really. So I'm
Well,
not
when
surprised
you
they
look
make
at the
rocket for 3-cylinder.
like the current F1 engine is a V6, but it's
Oh wow,
1.6 liter V6, and
really?
it's probably it's
And they're
probably let's see,
faster than the old like V12s or whatever they used to have in them.
yeah, trying to see the horsepower.
I mean, I'm assuming they're still faster and faster just because they made the rest of the car
They're
lighter and the thing much more
they're like
efficient.
1,000 horsepower out of a 1.6 liter.
Does your mic even work, Barbecue? Are you back?
He is. We're not hearing anything.
I was wondering if he didn't say nothing or if we're just not hearing him.
Still nothing?
Oh, no,
There you
now we
go.
got you.
There we go.
Okay.
So for the
I
bracket,
say there for a little while I
is,
wasn't talking.
Okay.
picnic foods. What's the best picnic food?
So giant thing of beer is one of them.
Beer is one of them. Just your burger. It could be cheeseburger, bacon burger, whatever burger, but burgers.
Vegan burger. Okay.
A barbecue chicken, grill. These are more geared towards grilling, not barbecues. So it's not 6 hours of cooking. It's you slapped it on a little grill. Chicken salad.
Is there a difference between grill and barbecue? I thought they were the same thing.
No. The
Or
grill
I
is
thought
like your little
barbecue is just
Weber.
when you put barbecue sauce on something on the grill.
You could argue that barbecue is a sauce, not a cooking method.
Sorry, barbacoa versus grilling. Is that better?
Mm.
Oh, I was just helping Jeebus with his argument. I could really care less.
What basically it'll be one will take, it's like a
normal
little
people.
grill and it'll be half
have
hour.
lunch. Yeah.
The other is like 8 hours of low heat. Potato salad. And some of these were kind of hard because like I don't like potato salad, so I don't know what a good potato salad looks like. So I tried to find ones that look attractive. Coleslaw. I don't like coleslaw either. Deviled eggs. I do like deviled eggs. Lemonade. A macaroni salad. I don't care for that either.
That's way too many salads at this point.
I know, but the chicken salad. The only time I ever ate it was when I was drunk. I'd always get a craving for chicken salad sandwiches. I don't know why. Pie. It can be whatever pie. Blueberry, blackberry, strawberry, rhubarb.
Chocolate.
Potato chips. Barbecued ribs. Sandwich. Ham sandwich, chicken sandwich, turkey sandwich. Whatever sandwich. Sodas. Watermelon. I love watermelon. Hot dog sandwich. And with whatever toppings you care for. I don't like like the chili or relish, I'll usually just have mustard and ketchup. Callahan says you only put mustard on hot dogs, but I like ketchup too. Let me call up the bracket itself. Are there any questions?
It's a little weird because like soda, you know, is
Nope.
going to go up against something and get slaughtered, but I'll like be able to handle it.
Let me shrink that down just a hair.
Something we used to do when I was a kid, also on the barbecue, would be what do they call them? Shish kebabs, where you just take like a skewer and put a bunch of chopped stuff on there.
Yeah.
We did that a lot.
What's everybody's pick to win?
Stupid hamburger or beer, probably.
Deviled eggs.
That's a pretty good one there, Gary. I'm gonna go with hamburger or sandwich.
And we would have had, I mean, I must have had ribs at some point, but it would have been like brats, like Laughing Dog was saying. Like that would have been a thing on the barbecue. I mean, we called it a barbecue. I guess some people call it a grill. We call it a barbecue, though.
Yep.
Even though I do believe like it has to have barbecue sauce on it to be barbecue. Like you could have chicken on the grill, and then barbecue chicken came off the same grill. It just had barbecue sauce all wiped over it.
I'd have to disagree
except-
with that personally.
The answer X out of
What's
one,
the
yes.
difference
It's
then?
food
Like the
and drink.
chicken has to last longer in there to be barbecued? You see, like he's saying?
No, you can barbecue chicken, barbecue steaks, not have a sauce on it, still be delicious because it's got that barbecue flavor. It doesn't require sauce to give it barbecue flavor. Just a
Okay.
little bit of smoke and stuff like that.
Yeah, like as opposed to propane or something.
Right.
Or putting it in the
Real
oven.
barbecue. Propane's not real barbecue. I'm sorry.
No, I guess I should have said like as opposed to put it in an oven in the house where it's going to cook without any flavor of the heat at all. It's just going to be hot. Whereas outside, it's going to taste like whatever charcoal or whatever wood you put in it. Yeah.
Correct.
So
I
first
make-
up is pie versus coleslaw barbecue.
See, this is a weird one.
If you said something, I didn't hear it. Barbecue.
He refuses to
To
vote.
be muted at the moment.
So we'll come back to barbecue. G-Webs.
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry.
There you go. So barbecue pie or coleslaw?
Ruining it.
Pie or coleslaw? Is this any pie?
Yep, can be any pie.
I'm
Cherry pie, sweet cherry pie,
gonna go with coleslaw.
coleslaw.
Weird.
G-Webs.
So I think this one's a tough one because coleslaw, I can't imagine. I mean, I guess I'm okay with coleslaw. I'm on the team, like I sometimes like coleslaw and sometimes I could care less about coleslaw, and other times I wouldn't even eat coleslaw if you paid me. So I have a weird thing with coleslaw, but I can't imagine the best coleslaw I've ever eaten being anywhere near the worst pie I've ever eaten. So I just can't even see this one as being a competition.
Yeah, but pie is, well, sometimes it's hot, and you want that on a hot summer day when you're having a
Oh,
picnic.
no, I'm not
I
with
say
you. Like,
plus-
I don't like pie. I'm
Pie is
steak over
heavy.
pie, like almost everything over pie, but not coleslaw over pie. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna eat pie. I might eat coleslaw. So I don't know. I hear what you're saying though. There can be some
Say
gross.
it's heavy. You're going to want to take a nap after with coleslaw. It complements some of the other foods that are on this list. I don't know.
That's true, and it is exactly it. Like with some foods, coleslaw is perfect, and then other times you're like, why would I ever want to eat coleslaw? So
Yep.
I'm gonna still go pie though. There's chocolate pie. There's a possibility. If you had a possibility of pie, I'd rather have that than the possibility of any coleslaw.
Gary, how about you?
I haven't been to too many barbecues where they even had pie, but it's really not a true barbecue without coleslaw. And I really can't eat pie anyway, so let's go with coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
Damn, you make good
Rich
points right
White
there.
that he's stopping by. He's gracing us with his presence for the moment.
What is this poll, by the way? Is it food we like or is it best barbecue?
Oh, whatever food you think would be the best food at a barbecue.
Okay,
Picnic.
Gizzard has changed my mind on this then, because I agree. Like, who gets off bringing a pie to a barbecue anyway? And like,
Well,
barbecue
it's
said, it
not
is
specifically
complimentary.
barbecue, a barbecue,
Yeah.
but
No, but still, like an outdoor picnic, like a pie is like saying, "Hey, I'm going to bring flies with me. Like, let's bring flies to this." Where coleslaw goes with barbecue, like I understand that. So I'm changing my vote to coleslaw. Wholeheartedly.
I think Foss misspoke though, because that like he originally said picnic, not barbecue. That's
I
why
think it's the
barbacoa is
same
on this
thing.
list.
I
right?
think it's the same thing almost.
I'm going pie all day. But coleslaw is going to move on. So now macaroni salad against beer. And it's the beer of your choice. PBR, Rolling Rock, whatever you like. Barbecue.
I don't make my own beer. However, I make my own coleslaw. I make my own macaroni salad. And no, just adding Miracle Whip, that's disgusting in itself, or just mayonnaise to macaroni salad does not constitute a dressing. You guys are monsters that do that. But I'm going to still go with macaroni salad.
As I've said many times, Miracle Whip is awful, and so are the people that like it.
Thank you.
G-Webs, macaroni salad or beer?
Oh crap, beer. Yeah, what the hell?
Could even be near beer. You don't non-alcohol.
Macaroni salad is way unknown. I mean, I'd say it's more unknown than potato salad. Like, there's some weird macaroni salads out there.
So you should try my macaroni salad with diced jalapeno in it.
Is there cheese in it?
No.
See? That's a bunch of pasta with mayonnaise.
Gizzard.
I got to go with Guns and Barbecue on this one. A good macaroni salad is hard to beat, so I'm going with macaroni salad.
Oh my
Macaroni
goodness. You
salad.
guys are going with the best. I'm going with the worst. Or I'm judging against the worst.
Well, I do not like macaroni salad. And I'm not a drinker anymore, but I've never really been a fan of beer.
What if it's root beer?
I do like root beer. In fact, I had a root beer this morning, an A&W root beer.
Oh,
Which
the
I-
Cadillac of root beers.
I will kind of switch back and forth between Mug and A&W, but I try to have A&W because I know barbecue hates Mug. So
I was gonna say, why do you punish yourself? Like, if you got the option for A&W, why would you even think about Mug? And even then, if it's like, oh well, A&W is kind of expensive. Okay, cool. Like, there's Barks. There's, I mean, even Dad's root beer is better than Mug, and like Dad's is pretty rough. Like, Mug is, that's like the Coors Light of root beers. It's awful.
my granddad, that was his favorite, was Dad's.
I think they were all better back when they were sugar, but now that they're corn syrup, I kind of agree. Like, I'm gonna go with the Barks.
But this is gonna go to the audience because I'm gonna go beer. There are some beers that I kind of like Fat Tire. I kind of like that one. The Pyramid Apricot. I like that. A little bougie, I know. But so we'll put a poll out there. And Gary said Barks. Barks is terrible. Terrible.
Barks,
the
is
only-
caffeine.
It's the only one with caffeine.
Barks has bite.
not anymore.
That's not a good thing.
Not anymore. Like, it doesn't have caffeine, or not anymore. Like, there's other brands with caffeine.
No, so I remember growing up, like, you would have Barks and it would like make your mouth tingle, and I always felt like that was the bite. And Barks does not do that to me anymore. And I've talked to other people and they agree, like, it doesn't have that sensation when you drink it.
I thought it was the carbonation out of the cans,
That's
but I know
what
what you
I
mean.
figure it was, but yeah, it doesn't. Well,
When
even
I was a kid, I always had it at like this one place out of a machine, like out of a can, and it was ice freaking cold out of this can. And I think that's why, no soda fountain I ever get it from is ever going to be the same as that opening a same crisp can from Becker, whatever that bottler was, whatever their water was.
Even when I would have fountain Barks, it still had that. Can somebody actually Google why Barks doesn't have bite anymore? Because I haven't heard them use that slogan in a very long time either.
Yeah, Dad's is still made. I think it's kind of moved into
It is.
the almost specialty now, where it's the not antique, but when they kind of bring back some of the old labels, I think it's kind of fallen into that.
I
don't
know
if it's as mainstream as it used to be.
Like you used to be able to find it at Big Lots all the time, which we still have a Big Lots here. I know most of them closed up around the nation and whatnot, but we still have one here. I haven't looked for Dad's root beer or anything, but next time I go in there, I'll have to see if they have any.
I'd looked it up, and the
so-
internet says nothing has changed about Barks. They did a branding redesign in 12, and then redesigned with the diet and the zero sugar version in 22. But aside from that, the internet says nothing's changed with the
I don't believe
cafe.
the internet.
That's
So
a
I
robot
closed
on
the
the
bowl,
internet,
and
so.
beer is going to move on.
Oh, those monsters.
So now we've got a battle of the salads: chicken salad against potato salad, barbecue.
Ugh. Interesting. Just like for a picnic, again, a lot like pie. Well, for a picnic, like pie is one of those things that you'd see in the photo with the picnic basket and everything. So I could understand pie being at a picnic. Then if you move into like barbecue territory, it's kind of like who's really bringing a pie to a barbecue. But sticking with the picnic thing, I've never thought of chicken salad. So when you say chicken salad, do you mean like bed of lettuce and chunks of chicken breast on it, or do you mean
not like a
like
chicken
shredded?
Caesar, but more like the potato salad where it's mayonnaise. And
Okay,
chicken.
okay, makes a little bit more sense to me now.
Like tuna salad, except it's chicken
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be in a sandwich typically? I've never seen it served just in the bowl.
I
Had like a
showed a
buffet.
picture
I've
of it
seen
in a
it
bowl.
with crackers at a bowl in like a buffet setting. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, with crack. You just made this really tough. So we got chicken salad or what?
Potato salad. That's potato salad is kind of an old standard.
Except this time it's German potato salad with like weird anise or something in it.
Say
I did when I was looking for pictures. I saw a picture and it was labeled French potato salad, and
my God.
instead of being cubed potatoes, it was the little new potatoes. So it was like a little whole potato ball.
I've seen that before. I didn't know it was French.
I have to go with potato salad. A good potato salad is really hard to beat. Let's say, but then again, most potato salads are just
Not
But
that.
yeah. But a good potato salad, man, that is so awesome when you find it. So, yeah, going potato salad here.
Yesterday, Pomade is out there. Said Foss couldn't resist being a celebrity with a live chat. That's true. I am an attention whore. I admit it. G-Webs. Chicken salad, potato salad.
I mean, I wouldn't even contemplate chicken salad. That's disgusting in so many different ways. It would take a whole nother show to talk about how horrible that is. So the potato salad is a risk because there is things like German potato salad out there. But there have been some amazing potato salads. So potato salad for sure.
Had deviled egg potato salad the one time that almost changed my life.
I'm a fan of the
man,
mustard.
That
potato
sounds
salad.
good.
I don't know. You're mixing genres.
Oh no, it's
It
pretty
is.
good. I've had it.
Best of
It's a
both
little
worlds.
too,
man.
too eggy for me, but I get it.
Gizzard.
The very best potato salad, in my opinion, which is fact, is mustard based. That makes the best tater salad. So we're going with tater salad.
What kind of mustard?
I'm with Gizzard.
Just
Yellow,
regular yellow mustard.
Dijon,
Any kind.
spicy.
Yellow.
Yes,
yellow.
yes, and yes.
I've never had the others, but I'd eat them for sure.
Oh, really? I think
Beer
sometimes
mustard?
the German ones use
I
it,
mean, not in a potato salad. Let's put it that way. I've never.
but you get it with like a Grey Poupon type of mustard. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I have it in my fridge. I just never had it in potato salad.
I'm gonna go chicken salad just because I don't like potato salad. And at 3 in the morning, I'd wobble my way into the grocery store and get a chicken salad sandwich.
I won't lie. Like, I really want chicken salad right now just because
So
of
what
this.
is our barbecue at 3 o'clock in the morning after you're drunk, or is it a barbecue? So you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
a
I would have
picnic.
picked pie.
It's
Well,
not a
okay,
barbecue; it's a picnic.
is the picnic at 3 o'clock in the morning after you're drunk? Is what I'm saying? Like I would have picked
Heck
pie.
yeah.
If it's food we like.
Well,
That's when
there's
you.
no
That's
time
when
of
you
day
take
where,
out. That's when you take out the leftovers, man.
there's
Well,
no
that's what
time
I
of
would
day
say.
where I will
Chicken
eat
salad
potato
is
salad.
leftovers, right? Chicken salad is like the day after you made a roasted chicken or something. Like it's the leftovers.
But potato salad's moving on. So now barbecue chicken against potato chips. And it could be barbecue potato chips, Lay's potato chips, Ruffles potato chips, whatever potato chips you like.
What are they fighting?
Barbecue chicken.
Oh my goodness.
Barbecue.
My barbecued chicken is what made me go, okay, I should probably get into selling my barbecue. After a bunch of people had it at just a random thing that was going on, and my buddy was like, hey, you should come cook for this. And, like we went halves on the chicken and everything. And we were just handing it out to people, and they were coming up like, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's free. Like, we just enjoy it. And people were blown away by how good it was, and that, we weren't charging. So I got to go with barbecue chicken here.
Vulcan Rumble is out there. G-Webs.
Any kind of chips.
Chips.
The worst soggy chip with pickle juice on it over chicken.
There are dill pickle flavored potato chips.
They're pretty good. I hate to admit it, but they're pretty freaking awesome.
They're not soggy, but they're dill pickle.
And when I say barbecue, I should specify, when I say barbecue chicken, I'm not talking like, oh, we put some barbecue sauce on a chicken. No. Like, you get the chicken up to like 145, and then you go out and you layer on this good layer of barbecue sauce, and you let that finish cooking on the chicken while it's coming up to temp. You get that chicken up to like 165, 170, and that barbecue sauce is set. And like, you got to scrape your fingers across your teeth to get the barbecue sauce off your fingers. Like, that's what I'm saying when I say barbecue chicken.
Gary, potato chips, barbecue chicken.
Well, potato chips are the things that people fill up on waiting for the food to be cooked. And it's also what all the lazy people who couldn't take the time to make a dish picked up at the gas station on the way to the barbecue and said, here's my contribution. On the other hand, barbecue chicken is to die for, so I'm going with barbecue chicken.
He's biased.
Oops. The potato chips,
really. It's kind of gross.
Potato chips and 2-liter sodas. Any function I went to, that's what I was leaving with. If I came to your house for a party, if I came to your picnic, I would usually able to sneak out leftover potato chips and 2-liter sodas. But I'm gonna go chicken. So now, burgers against deviled eggs.
Oh, wow. Now, is this just a burger? Can it be a cheeseburger?
Can be however you want it. Cheeseburger, regular burger, bacon burger.
Veggie burger?
Can be a veggie burger if you want.
This is so tough, but at the end of the day, I've got to go with a cheeseburger. One, last name's Burger, so I can't vote against myself. Two, if you went to a picnic or something and there is only deviled eggs, like that's going to get old pretty quick. Like if you didn't have some hot dogs or burgers or something else there, potato chips, whatever the heck, people are going to be disappointed. So yeah, got to go with a cheeseburger here.
G-Webs.
Eggs.
Eggs. Gizzard.
Now, normally with my diet now, I really can't eat burgers, but if you make it a veggie burger or a turkey burger, I could still do it. And I gotta agree with barbecue. It's not a picnic without burgers. So I'm gonna have to go with burgers on this one. I hate to take deviled eggs out, but gonna have to.
Yeah, I do. I
Hot
like
dog.
both these, but I like burgers a little bit more. I even like Boca burgers. Every once in a while, I'll get those to make it home.
I've never had one on a barbecue. Are they good on a barbecue?
I haven't grilled
They're
one.
made to be put that way. I mean, they're made to mimic the cooking of other meats or of meats, I guess. So probably the way they're supposed to be made, really.
Hillbilly Up is out there.
Here, Billy.
But I think when you look at it, the stuff they're made out of might not be the best to be heated up that way. I know there's people that, when there's concerns about those things that are created patties, then the stuff that the stuff that keeps them together is the stuff that you don't necessarily want to be heated up to the temperatures that a barbecue can do.
I will say, if I'm eating burgers, I usually don't have to tell myself I've had enough. If I'm eating deviled eggs, I'll have to say, no, I've had enough.
That's actually something I do need to make a video of, is how I make deviled eggs, because I don't do the traditional mayonnaise and mustard and stuff. I actually use barbecue sauce.
Come on.
You should make a video.
I'm gonna say, when people when I first say it to people, they're like, "Oh, that sounds like a terrible idea," and then they have it and they're like, "These are amazing." I'm like, "Yep, I know."
So
trying to pull stunts.
Rich is leaving us.
You made
He's had
Rich White
enough of it.
leave. You can't imagine having to hear about that either.
He's like, blasphemy.
I didn't
so
know there
now
was mayonnaise in them. I thought they just took the yolk and put mustard in there. There's mayonnaise in there too.
What's that?
When they make deviled eggs, I didn't know there was mayonnaise in them. I thought it was just mustard.
I'm not sure how they're made. I just like them.
Let's say it depends on.
I imagine there's recipes, yeah.
Yeah, let's say there's all kinds of stuff out there.
I just remember my grandma making them, and yeah, I liked them and everything, but I just don't remember. I mean, she probably used mayonnaise, I guess. I don't know.
So barbecued ribs or hot dogs?
Ugh.
Barbecue.
Hot
Ribs
dogs.
or hot dog sandwich?
Hot dogs. Let's say love ribs, but if they're not trimmed right, if they're not cooked right, they're just greasy and gross, and too many people think that they are the world's greatest rib cook, and well, they just suck. So can't go wrong with a good hot dog.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my stepdad, he would always get the shittiest cuts, and they were always fatty and terrible. But still, terrible ribs are better than no ribs. G-Webs.
I have to pass. I'm not eating any of this stuff.
Gary?
I have to disagree. Bad ribs are bad ribs. Kind of hard to beat a hot dog, especially since you can get them. You can get chicken-based, turkey-based dogs. So I could potentially eat a hot dog. It's kind of hard to get chicken-based ribs. Chicken ribs aren't good. So let's have the hot dog.
They're tiny.
Yeah, I bet they are.
I like the chicken hot dogs. I'll usually get the Angus ones, but I used to buy the chicken ones.
The anus ones, you said?
Yeah. They're less filling because of the hole in the middle.
Those would be star dogs.
I'll go ribs, but hot dogs are gonna move. Hot dog sandwiches are gonna move on.
There's so many, like Sever saying, there's X Adam is saying there's so many hot dogs. Like there's so many hot dogs. Like you guys are thinking of the good ones and ignoring you. I mean, you guys eat hot dogs. You must have eaten all the gross hot dogs over the years. Like they're just not recognizing as a factor here. You're like you're thinking of going to the store and buying
I still buy the gross hot dogs. Like I buy Sugardales for my kids all the time because I don't love them enough to spend the money on good Smiths. Granted, most people don't know what a Smith hot dog is unless you're from Northwest PA, even Southwest PA. But nonetheless, those shitty ass, sorry, I said bad words on Foster's show, Bar S or whatever the heck they're called, or Sugardale. Like that's all my kids get.
Lately I've been buying the Johnsonville better with the cheddar in them.
Do you figure when you're feeding a kid at a picnic, like they just need to eat food because they don't appreciate something good, or do you feed them like the fancy brat or the good hot dog because you want them to understand the finer things and eat good food or whatever that tastes good?
My kids are picky; they're just gonna eat chips.
If I'm having a picnic or something, I'm not going to feed people subpar hot dogs. I have standards for feeding other people that aren't my children. So we're going to have good quality hot dogs in that situation.
And I just boil mine because I'm lazy. So I'll throw them in a pot of water and then turn the heat on. And once they hit a boil, they're warm. So.
Like I grew up with all fat people, so it was like barbecue. Like everything was good, and like I understood what a tasty hot dog or something like sausage, even like a brat or something would be. Not you'd go to like a YMCA camp or something. It's like, hey, we're having hot dogs, and it's like, what the hell is this? Like, is this prison food? Like, what is this? And that's where I'm wondering, like, I mean, there's a big spectrum there.
Yeah.
Between like meat that has flavor and you're like, I don't even need to put anything on this. And then like, well, here's the bread and the meat because of tradition. And then you better soup it up because you don't want to eat it as is.
So now we've got sandwiches. Yeah, it could be ham sandwich, turkey sandwich, club sandwich. Not a hot dog sandwich because we separated those out.
Because they are not sandwiches. Interesting.
Against the watermelon. Barbecue.
Ooh,
that's nuts. It's so easy.
I'm torn here because I thought for sure sandwich would make it pretty far in this bracket, but man, watermelon's so good. It's really hard to mess up a sandwich, whether somebody's made it for you or you've made it yourself.
Well, if you put a Miracle Whip on it.
Well, I'm imagining you're making it's being made to order by somebody. Like if they're like, "Hey, what do you want on your sandwich?" Like,
you're still at the mercy of whatever they brought in the picnic basket. So it's like, what do you want on it?
Only
like this or this or this. That's the three things I brought.
Well, if you're crazy enough to like go on a picnic with a ginger or just another soulless being, then yeah, like there's a good chance they're only going to have Miracle Whip and not mayonnaise. But even then, like you can eat a sandwich and not have condiments on it, and it's still going to be a pretty decent sandwich. When it comes to watermelon, like man, a good watermelon, that is so hard to beat, but it's so easy to not have a good watermelon as well. I'm going to go with the sandwich just because it's a safer bet.
Sandwich. G-Webs.
Yeah, we live different lives. I won't even consider eating a sandwich hardly unless I made it. So no, I've had the opposite experience that sandwiches are almost always a horrible. I mean, it's rare that you get a good sandwich.
Well, and then in the scenario, you get to make your own sandwich too, though.
Okay, well, I guess, but even in that case, I'm going to walk right past just about every sandwich. Like the best BLT in the world might make me hesitate, but I mean, I get it if you like more sandwiches than me, but I'm on the opposite. I've spent my life eating pretty decent watermelon. Lately, watermelon can suck because they make these fake watermelons somehow now that don't have any flavor. But most of my life, there was good watermelon. And if we're talking, because it was clarified earlier, right? Like you're buying good hot dogs. You're not just taking them to a YMCA camp. We're not talking about that kind of picnic, right? Where it's like we're buying the cheapest shit because the parents don't care. So if we're talking like we're going to the store, then I'm going to a good place and buying a good watermelon, right? So I'm picking watermelon all day is what I'm getting at. Even though sandwiches can be good, I'm walking past a sandwich to get to a piece of watermelon, I think, at a picnic.
A night
'Cause
strike out there.
Honestly, like some picnics, I guess, yes, a sandwich, but I would put that on the marginal adjacent picnic food, not necessarily main picnic food. Even I would put like fried chicken ahead of a sandwich as a picnic food, I think. Even though I
Yes.
don't think fried chicken's on the list.
I'm going to go for the watermelon.
Watermelon. And to answer night strike, that isn't it past my bedtime, I don't sleep. I'll just slow down for a little while. I think we're gonna have to. This will have to go out to the audience again. I love both of these. These are two of my favoriteest foods. I love a good sandwich. I like all kinds of sandwiches. Ham and cheese is probably my favorite. But I like turkey. I like chicken. Roast beef sandwiches are good.
I think
Club
people are
sandwich where you
missing-
get a little bit of everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
But a good watermelon, oh my God, I will eat a whole watermelon on my own.
Yeah.
So you guys are imagining a sandwich. Are you taking like a loaf of white bread out there and it's not toasted, and you're making sandwiches out of non-toasted white bread and eating them in a picnic, or are you bringing out like rolls or something? Or
Oh no, I'm bringing out
a toaster.
like a really good multi-grain that has some substance to it. Laying that down, I'm gonna slather on some mayonnaise on one side, put down a piece of cheese, peruse the meat selection. I might go with a mixture of roast beef, salami, and pepperoni on that son of a gun. Slap down some more cheese with it, lettuce, small piece of tomato, healthy amount of onion, healthy amount of pickle. We're gonna make a day out of that thing.
All right.
I usually lean towards a simpler sandwich. It'll be whatever meat, whether it's turkey or ham, or the two that I'll usually use. Bread, not toasted or anything, just regular sandwich bread. Lettuce, tomato, and the only time I like pickles are on a sandwich or a burger. And a couple slices of a pickle, a dill pickle, nothing sweet. And if I don't know if I said lettuce, then that's it for me, and I'm happy. Sometimes bacon in there.
What was the bread? White untoasted bread or a roll or what?
Usually I'll buy like a 7 grain or 9 grain. I'll switch back and forth between.
Yes.
I kind of like those, but I'm fine with the white bread. The only problem with the white bread is a lot of times, you like get Wonder Bread, and it gets it sticks to the roof of your mouth, and it's.
I can't handle anything about Wonder Bread or any of that white bread stuff anymore. I don't like that kind of bread. So that's why sandwiches, and I think of sandwiches as that, I guess.
So for the only time I would maybe use white bread is like a grilled cheese sandwich. But even then I usually use
You're cooking the bread at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say.
And that's also
toast is different. Like you take white bread and toast it, and now we're talking. But white bread when it's not toasted, and that's what I'm thinking of it as a picnic. Like then it turns into like prison food or like YMCA camp. You can tell I didn't like eating at YMCA camp. It was always like horrible torture.
A couple of years ago, I had the best watermelon of my life, and I've been trying to find another watermelon that is just equal in goodness to that thing, and I haven't been able to do it. That watermelon is so amazing.
Can you grow them there? Sometimes people have places where you can just grow them and they just grow wild, all awesome.
I would like to. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I mean, they're kind of a weed, you know what I mean? Like in some climates, they're just going to grow, and it's just a matter of like throwing some good fertilizer on them so you get a good flavor out of them. And you got
So the
fish
poll-
there, right? You could throw some fish stuff on them. Yeah, that'd be good.
The poll is tied, so we need at least one more vote. Break that tie.
Watermelon or some gross sandwich that somebody made who's not even paying attention. There might be a cigarette butt in it. It's got a big fingerprint in the white bread.
Big old grease mark.
They didn't know if you wanted peanut butter and jelly or ham, so it's just got peanut butter and ham on it.
Oh, I watched a short. There's one of the British guys that loves America will come over and do videos and stuff, and he was making his first peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ugh.
But since he had never made one before, he put butter on it because he puts butter on sandwiches.
There's people that do that though, but yeah, they do that in Europe all the time.
I can see butter, like a ham sandwich. Some people don't like mayonnaise. The old school is butter, but not on a PBJ.
You got your vote.
All right, we'll end the poll there. The
Went
sandwich
the wrong way.
is gonna move on.
Wow.
You should mandatorily have to remove all the hot dog votes that went in there because it's not a sandwich, and then it would have gone to watermelon.
So now we've got a couple drinks. Lemonade against soda. Barbecue.
This is tough because anymore when people think lemonade, it's not anything that's homemade and natural flavor, stuff like that. It's crap out of a can or 2-liter bottle, and they're like, look, lemonade, and I'm like, no, that's crap. But if we're talking like somebody took the time to make lemonade and you got slices of lemon floating in it and ice, and that's pretty friggin' awesome. Just the effort required to do that is pretty friggin' awesome, let alone the flavor of it. I'm going to go with lemonade here.
Lemonade. There was a few of the neighborhood kids put up a little stand, had lemonade and cookies. Unfortunately, they used Country Time lemonade, which is awful stuff. It is god awful. But the kids out there doing kid stuff, their little lemonade stand. So I thanked them, went inside and dumped it out. G-Webs. Lemonade or soda?
Soda, I think. Lemonade's too iffy. And I'm with you. I don't count the powdered Country Time or whatever as lemonade. That stuff's, I got horrible memories of those days.
Well, among powdered, Country Time is bottom tier.
We are going to fight.
Whatever. I mean, again, I grew up. Didn't you guys grow up going to like being pawned off to some group of kids at a park somewhere with like one of them round things with the spigot at the bottom, and they didn't even throw ice in it. They would just take water out of the tap, a thing of whatever flavor of the day, and you hoped it was like cherry or whatever your flavor was, and then you'd get like maybe 2 cups out of it before everybody else drank out of it, and then, man, I hated those days. I hate High C and all that Kool-Aid and crap like that.
High C sucks. Any Kool-Aid sucks.
And I throw lemon, all those
ice.
powdered lemonades.
That's what I used to always get from McDonald's if I got something.
I have no good memories. All I have is like bad memories of those those fake sodas.
If I ever had an upset stomach, it's so thick and syrupy, coat your stomach, like Pepto-Bismol, help settle it down. Gary.
Lemonade.
Lemonade. I too will go lemonade because
crazy.
Now I prefer to try and drink non-carbonated stuff. So if I have the choice, I'll go with a lemonade or something like that. There are sodas I like because I do still drink sodas. But if I'm out and I'm going to drink a lot of it, I'd prefer lemonade.
I just thought soda would whale on it. I had no idea it would be the other way around.
So now we've got coleslaw versus beer,
Weird.
barbecue.
Beer's always good, but I'm not somebody where I gotta slam them back. Like if I'm having beer, I'll have one, maybe two. It's really done just socially. And the thing is, you can have a wrong beer for what you're eating. And the same thing can happen with the coleslaw. But I make a pretty awesome coleslaw. I'm going with my coleslaw still.
Coleslaw. G-Webs.
There's this place here that when you order their coleslaw, it has pineapple in it, and you cannot order a non-pineapple version of their coleslaw. So I have a problem with that. If I had to pick one thing to be at the any kind of a get together, I don't care if it's a picnic or anything else, it's going to be coleslaw. Like I don't care about beer at all, and if I could say, one or the other, I'd rather have people eating coleslaw than people drinking beer. I don't want to be around a bunch of people drinking beer. So like you say, one beer, who cares? Like fine, but like, yeah, I don't want to be at some party where it's like, what do you call it? Coolers of beer anymore. That was like in the youth.
Gizzard.
Oh, coleslaw.
Coleslaw. I'm going to go with beer just because I don't like coleslaw. And the only time I drink beer is, it's been, when was the last time I had a beer? Been in 10 years. That was at a wedding.
I had one this year, I'm sure.
And the only time I would drink beer is just to be social. Somebody offered me a beer.
Mhm.
I drink it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I find it interesting because every time somebody hands you a beer, I did get some beers from a party that were like Budweiser, but they always hand you some weird thing. So it's like something I've never had before because I never drink beer. So it's interesting to drink beers.
So,
But
are you like completely like, I do not like coleslaw at all. It's gross. I will hurl myself off of a cliff before having to eat that. Or are you one of those people where you're like, I'll try something and, give it a chance?
Well, I'm not gonna, I will hurl it off the cliff. I'm not gonna hurl myself off. But it's more, like when you eat something and you're like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it at all. So now potato salad, barbecue chicken.
Oh.
Barbecue.
Again, I got to go back to my barbecue chicken for the reasons stated before. And like I said, I'm not talking like, oh, we just put some barbecue sauce on the chicken that we warmed up real quick and, warmed up the barbecue sauce that is. And, just like, here it is, barbecue chicken. Like, no, I'm talking where the sauce is sticky. It's going to make a giant mess whether you want to or not. And it's not making a mess like it's falling on you, but it's going to be all over your face and you need to get a wet towel to wipe your face and your fingers and everything else. That's barbecue chicken. That's what we're going with.
There was a barbecue joint where we used to live that it was mediocre when it was warm, but it was better when it was cold. And I never understood why, but
I have experienced that.
Juice and stuff.
I have experienced that. Have you ever noticed if you order something that's like supposed to be spicy, when it gets cold, it's not nearly as spicy as it was when it was hot?
Yep, the oils and stuff.
Yeah, like there's. I've had barbecue where it's like, man, this is better cold than it was, fresh.
Think of a French fry. It's the easiest thing. It's a big oil sponge, and like it's immediately useless if it's not hot, right? Like they're mildly okay if they're warm, and then once they're cold, like you need to reheat them.
But they did have these little cornbread shaped like muffins that were killer. Their biggest problem was they were always closed because they kept renting their place out for private events, and I'm pretty sure that's what killed them because nobody else could order food from them because they're always doing private events.
Well, that's the situation. They've got to decide, like, is our place only for private events, or are we restaurant where people can come in and get food? Because if people can't come in and get food regularly the way that they want, then how do they know when you're actually cooking anything? Because, well, we're closed because somebody rented us out again.
That's a perfect situation for like the Uber Eats or something, like a delivery or a pickup window so they can, order in, act like a restaurant, but then you're not intending to stay there to eat. You're like picking it up or having it delivered home.
Oh, so G Web's a potato salad with barbecue chicken.
Maybe it's a hard decision. I guess I'll go with the potato salad.
Potato salad. Gizzard. So are you going potato salad or cannibalism?
Cannibalism, like you did earlier.
This is tough, man. Oh, those are two of my favorites.
Messy ass chicken. The barbecue even threatened you was going to get all over your face and everything. You're going to have cleanup stuff, or potato salad, which everybody loves. It's crisp and refreshing.
Less carbs though, so I'm going with the chicken.
Oh, this was a high protein potato salad made with cream cheese or cottage cheese.
I will also go. I don't care for potato salad.
Oh my gosh.
Either. So I'm going chicken. Chicken.
All of a sudden, chicken's winning on the panel with a chicken in it. See who's not bullied by the chicken vote, though.
So now we've got one of the most classic matchups: burgers versus hot dog sandwiches. Barbecue.
Oh. It depends on really what class of people are you in. If you're trying to have some more regular get-togethers with family and friends, like you'd have to be a pretty wealthy person to be able to afford burgers all the time, which then takes you back to hot dogs. And well, chances are you weren't buying the world's greatest hot dogs at that point either. It's pretty hard to get a bad burger unless somebody's just
come on,
overcooked it to death and everything else. Like you slap a piece of cheese on that, you can add a couple condiments or whatnot, and it's pretty hard to have a bad burger. I'm going with the burger.
G-Webs.
I definitely have no skin in this game. I'll just throw in there, when I was a kid, I grew up with whatever mix of ethnicities that we would probably not have either of these. We would have some, like, say, like bratwurst or some kind of sausages or something. Remember, like, do they still make, is it like Italian sausage or smoked sausage or something like that? So there'd be like those kind of options. And I would have picked them over just a plain old hot dog. But I'll leave my vote to the audience because I got no skin in this game.
Yeah, like I was saying, that I've lately been buying the Johnsonville Better Cheddars. Those are pork sausages.
Those are so
great.
with
like the chunks of cheese in them. I remember those.
Yeah,
those are so amazing.
And you just like slice one of those and cook it, and it's way better than a hot dog or something.
I was gonna say a brat isn't a hot dog though.
I know it isn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just never. To me, a hot dog was like torture going to camp or something, or like some picnic at some school thing where they're just like, here's a bunch of slop and we're feeding you, and it's technically a hot dog. I'd be like, no way, this isn't a bratwurst or anything. This sucks. This is horrible.
But is a brat the bastard child of a hot dog and a sausage?
I don't want to act like a brat is good. I don't like brats. Half the reason I don't eat shit is because of brats. But there was other sausages you could get at a brat place because they were a sausage butcher place. You know what I mean? Like, hot dogs were demeaning to them. So you could get like actually stuff with flavor in them. But anyway, yeah, brat is a weird, it's kind of almost, it's not like what do you call it when it's just guts? It's not just guts. Like, it has meat in it, so people like it. but it's different. You know, it has other stuff in it besides just the processed stuff that's in a hot dog.
Well, one of the
So
nice things about a brat is natural casing.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were a real food compared to like a hot dog was like kind of fake at the time. Like in the 70s, nobody was, or 60s, what was it, the years we were alive? 80s, I guess. Nobody was making fancy hot dogs. Like you could go somewhere and get a fancy hot dog, I guess. But if you went anywhere at a picnic, you were just getting whatever hot dogs they bought at the store. Where versus brats were coming from a butcher. Like there was no, whatever Oscar Mayer version of brats, was there? I think you could get sausage like I was talking about just next to the bacon. Like that wasn't from a butcher. That was Oscar Mayer or something.
So did you pick one?
Me? I gave it to the audience. I'm not going to get in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll start a poll out there and then that we can check here. And
I guess you might not need to though if you guys all pick it.
well, so you gave
Your
your
vote
out
still
there, so
matters.
we'll let them
Okay.
vote.
Okay.
Burger and hot dog. So Gizzard, burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Chicken burger isn't bad. It's pretty interesting.
I put hot dogged. Hot dog. So there's pulled up. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oops, let me get two. I'm gonna go burger too. Just there are hot dogs I like, but if I had the choice between the two, I will normally go with burgers.
At least back in the day, it was like burgers were going to adults and hot dogs were the kids.
Yep.
So we'll give it just a little bit, and then we'll close out the poll there.
But like I say, I don't think I've ever been, I mean, I must have been to some cookouts where there was just hot dogs and hamburgers, but I mean, I don't know. You guys, was that a thing? Like there was almost always something else on there, corn, and then, like let's say sausages of some sort, and then maybe a piece of chicken or something, or a piece of fish because somebody was not eating whatever at the time, kind of thing. Somebody's aunt was like, "Can you bring fish also?"
Artak and Daughters is out there. That's when you say no.
Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, do you ever have company picnics? Is that a thing? Anybody ever go to company picnics, Gizzard?
Oh
Like
yeah,
what?
we had them all the time. Those were fun.
Like a company would get together and like give it for their employees. Those were like some of the coolest.
They'd have
cookouts ever.
celebrations like 1 million safe man hours and stuff like that. They'd throw a picnic out the lake and stuff like that. Happened
And
all
they
the time.
usually, at least back in the day, like I remember that was all out. Like they didn't cut any corners because they were celebrating or like having a good time. So it was those
Oh
were
heck
great.
yeah! And the company's paying for it. Those are the best ones. Yeah.
And that's where I started eating corn, like where they just take corn and put it on the thing by itself, just corn and water basically until it's ready, and then goop it up when you're done with whatever you're gonna do. That wasn't on here, but that would be my number one. It would be up there with watermelon for me. Like I'm eating corn no matter what, pretty much.
I do. I like corn on the cob, or even corn off the cob.
What bothers me is I go to buy it here in Tucson. It's like $5 for 4 ears of corn. That's how much it costs for corn now,
Wow.
right? Because it's not really a Arizona thing, so it's coming from somewhere. I don't even know if it's probably not in season right now, I guess.
It is. It's just coming in the season.
Okay.
Harvest.
So maybe we'll see it cheaper here. But I was thinking about it the other day, like, oh man, I haven't had corn in forever. But yeah, not for $1 an ear.
When it's in season, my wife will buy it, and there'll always be corn on the cob in the fridge.
Yeah, do y'all ever eat the Mexican version where they put like mayonnaise and hot sauce and all kinds of weird shit on it? And it's
I
like
haven't
a
tried
whole
it.
big concoction. I can't
I'm
handle it.
curious
There's
about
mayonnaise on it. It's like butter and mayonnaise, and then other stuff. I'm like, no.
No, here's how I eat corn on the cob. First off, it's always sideways. It's not long ways. I want to make that clear. And I don't put anything on it. I just eat the corn on the cob. No butter, no salt, no nothing. Just
I grew up just eating it out of the field, like walking up to some farmer who didn't have cow corn and eating their sweet corn. Holy moly! Like just raw.
Mhm.
Holy crap, that's good.
Yeah, I don't put anything on it anymore. I used to, a little butter, a little salt, but
I'll eat it if somebody puts a bunch of butter and salt on it. It's not like I'm throwing it away, but I don't do it either. I'll just put it regular. What I
so now
don't
we've
like
got
is going to a buffet and you got to peel like a half a corn cob out of like a thing of drippy, watery butter type of goop. That's I don't enjoy that as much.
so now we've got sandwiches against lemonade, barbecue.
Ooh, that's weird.
oh, this is so very different extremes here. I'm gonna go sandwich.
Sandwich. G-Webs.
I think I'm 100% the opposite. Sandwiches there's just too much variable there. And there's some variable in lemonade, but the worst that happens is it's country time and then you can add it like half water or something and still drink it. A bad sandwich is a bad sandwich. And I still don't think they're a picnic food.
Gary.
Lemonade.
Lemonade. I'm gonna go sandwich.
Oh, snap.
So this is gonna go. We're gonna have to go out to the chat again.
Bunch of people were like, I'm just going to sit back and relax and watch a show for a couple hours. And then they had to go to work. They had to roll up their sleeves and basically vote on every other item in the bracket. They're essentially doing all the work right now.
Lemonade.
We've already voted off soda and beer. So I agree with G23 at this point. If you don't vote lemonade, then we're just drinking nothing. We're like just dry. Drinking out of the lake or something.
Well, really, at the end of the bracket, there can only be one winner. So, if that's the case,
Yeah,
do you
I guess
want
that's
to
true.
eat or drink?
Yeah, that's true. Well, if you're going to drink, I'd rather drink lemonade than anything else on this list.
I agree with that. Oh, there's always hot dog juice.
What I like to do though is just take some water, like a thing of water, and then just squeeze some lemon into it. I don't even do the sugar and all that other. And I don't put like a ton of lemon in it, but just to not make it taste like water, I'll squeeze some lemon in there. I don't think it's technically lemonade or anything, but just to make it a more refreshing water.
Sounds awful.
I
Why
just
can't- Sorry, boss.
prefer just straight water.
Yeah.
I will at work. I'll have. I've got the little powdered Gatorade because I'll do 20 ounce for work just because I'll sweat at work and water isn't enough. I'm losing other stuff than just liquid, the minerals and stuff.
Oh, let me put in here. My parents have a lemon tree and 2-3 lemon trees in their backyard. So lemons are sometimes very, very plentiful. I can do whatever I want with lemons without worrying about it.
So it's tied out there. So we need
And when-
another.
I usually drink water, but when I'm at the restaurant and they offer me lemon slices with it, I'll usually take them, just kind of squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in with the water. That's really good.
Oh, yeah.
I would like
Yeah,
to know
that's-
when that became popular. Let's say, like, what happened to just being like, yes, I would like water. Just plain Jane water, nothing in it. I don't need cucumber water. I don't need lemon water. I don't need any citrus water of any kind. What's wrong with just water?
Probably because it tastes different other places, and that's a way to create consistency in it.
I went to a place one time, and they're like, "Would you like cucumber water?" Like, no. Can I just have water? They're like, we don't have just water.
Weird.
What?
But
I promptly left.
Because you can be allergic to cucumbers. Like that's a thing. You can be allergic to cucumbers and
just-
melons, right?
The wrestler, the Undertaker, is afraid of cucumbers.
Cats are afraid of cucumbers. Wasn't that a meme a couple of years ago? You put a cucumber behind a cat and it would scare the shit out of it.
Really?
Yeah, like that
Yeah.
went around for a
They'll
couple of
jump.
months. Yeah. I mean, unless it's fake, like they could just be yelling, you know what I mean? Like as soon as the cat turns around, they yell at it or something. But yeah, they have a cat minding its business, looking out the window or something. They'd come up, put a cucumber on the ground behind it. The cat would be minding its business, look around, and then, jump 7 feet in the sky and like run away. Probably thinks it's a snake or something.
So the sandwiches won the poll up in the chat. They're going to move on. Now we've got coleslaw, barbecue chicken, barbecue.
I'm not looking.
Oh, and Artac and Daughters is out there.
It's just tough. I got to go with the barbecue chicken though. If you went to a picnic and they just had the sides but no main, you're going to be very disappointed. You got to go with the barbecue chicken here.
G-Webs.
Not barbecue chicken. So the other one, coleslaw.
Coleslaw. Gizzard.
As much as I like my veggies, I'm with barbecue. If you got a choice between the meat or the sides, I'm always going with the meat. If they don't have the sides, okay, too bad. But I could go by with just barbecue chicken. So
Oh, not 21. 2. There we go. Oh, I will also go chicken because I don't like coleslaw. So now burgers against sandwiches. Barbecue.
This is so tough. The burger you assume has already been made, and like I said, it's pretty hard to have a bad burger. But with a sandwich, it doesn't necessarily have to be made by somebody else. It might just have all the things there, and you get to make your own sandwich, and then you can make a pretty epic sandwich. And if you mess it up, you're the only person to blame.
Yeah, but sometimes they're made and they're just sitting there like half a sandwich. They cut them in half, and you're just sitting there.
You know what?
Half of one.
And we're talking picnic here. So the burgers may not necessarily be the hottest by the time you get to wherever you're taking them for the picnic. Meanwhile, a cold deli sandwich, pretty freaking amazing no matter what. I'm going to go with the sandwich here.
Sandwich. G-Webs.
Well, I'm going with the sandwich, but I don't agree. I've eaten old warm sandwiches that are gross, and I don't know how far you're walking from your grill to your picnic area, but most people aren't walking so far that their hamburger gets cold. But I'm still voting sandwich, I guess.
Gizzard.
hey, a burger is a sandwich technically.
Definitely.
And burger is a superior sandwich, and you can eat the burger without the bun if you'd rather. So I'm going with the burger.
Burger. Burger is a sandwich, but is it
Yeah.
a sandwich?
But I think it's a
Doesn't-
separate type of sandwich, the same way that.
But is the burger a sandwich if you no longer have the bun?
Still a burger though, and to me, if I had a choice between a plain burger without the bread and a sandwich, I'm taking a burger.
Yeah, because there's a name for a hamburger with just one side of the bun. I forget what it's called. And then there's a name for just a hamburger patty on a plate at a fancy restaurant. So I think you can still have a hamburger. It might be
I think
different.
Also, I was going to say lettuce wrapped sandwich, amazing. Lettuce wrapped burgers, amazing.
Yes, it is.
This is tough. I like both of these. I really like burgers and I really like sandwiches.
I could see the argument that a burger is more of a picnic thing than a sandwich, because I still don't understand why a sandwich.
Well,
is a-
if you know you're going out with the family to go have a picnic, you're going to take a sandwich. You're not going.
I guess, yeah, like mom makes a bunch of sandwiches at home
Yeah.
and then puts them in a picnic basket. Yes, picnic for sure.
Was this a picnic or a barbecue? I thought we were having a
That's
barbecue.
exactly. I guess barbecue.
Oh,
I
it's a
thought
picnic.
cooking there, so it'd
You
be
can
more
barbecue.
Barbecue.
See?
You said barbecue at first.
No, you
I
said
thought.
barbecue, so that
No, I
means
said
I think
picnic.
cooking there.
Listen to it back. You said picnic. I say,
Oh, I
said
I've been
picnic.
sticking
Barbecue.
to. I've been sticking to the task at hand here.
Okay, so
You're
in that
welcome,
case,
boss.
a burger would be less appropriate at a picnic than a sandwich for sure.
Well,
I
you
was thinking
can't have
barbecue.
a backyard picnic and invite friends where you grill and have hamburgers.
Indeed.
Yeah,
You just have to sit at a picnic table.
it's just that if barbecue was there, you'd have to walk around the house 3 times before you sat down with your burger, so it would get cold.
Well, I was thinking
Well-
like you went to the beach or something,
Nah, I hear you. I'm just
and now
kidding.
you're taking pre-made burgers, and you're trying to keep them warm, and now you got cheese that you melted over top of them already. Now that cheese is sticking to like the other burgers that were placed on top, or you just got this really crappy cheese that has now turned to plastic on top of the burger, and it's just
Well, if you love people, you're not going to use weird cheese that gets gross. You're going to use good cheese that stays awesome, gets better.
well, that's the problem is you're with the burger. I'm assuming that I'm at the mercy of somebody else that made the burgers, and I don't know what they use for cheese or anything. They may not like me that much.
I mean, if you're talking
Most
worst
people don't
case
like me that much.
scenario, there's those hamburgers, like institutional hamburgers that were like, 50% or 40% filler and like some hamburger meat. And you know what I mean? They're all gray immediately. And they never, they existed. They technically count as a hamburger, but you know what I mean? Like those aren't, nobody's looking forward to eating that stuff, right? Often.
Oh, 100%. But again, that's why I went with sandwich, because at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily have to be a pre-made sandwich. It could have just been like, I brought everything to make sandwiches. You get to make your own.
Ozzy
like-
said
You can do
there's
do
no
the same thing.
barbecue foods, only food holsters.
Yeah, see?
I mean, hamburgers can be served the same way. You just got a plate of burgers, and then you put your own bun, you put your own cheese on there.
That's
I've
true.
seen a lot of them that way. Yeah.
I'm gonna go sandwich.
It's not that we're
Is this
overthinking
tied?
it. He just hadn't answered it, so we had nothing else to do except talk about it while he was waiting to answer.
Yep.
We're just trying to fill time.
So the final is barbecue chicken against sandwiches.
I can at least get behind this option or this
Barbecue.
choice.
With
Man, if you get good barbecue chicken, that is hard to beat. I've got to go with the barbecue chicken.
barbecue chicken. Gee whips.
Sandwich.
Sandwich. You could have a cucumber sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Well,
no
no,
meat.
because there's don't they put? Oh no, that's cream cheese or something on those, right? I was gonna say if it's mayonnaise, I'm passing on a sandwich.
It's your sandwich. Make it how you want.
You could put Greek yogurt on it.
I would rather have that than mayonnaise for sure.
You probably like Miracle Whip.
No, I don't like anything like it, mayonnaise or anything like that ever. Well, I guess in some potato salads it's in there, right? Like so, if it's an ingredient, I can't help it.
I recently saw a thing about how to make your own mayonnaise. It's like, no crap. That simple, huh?
It's
I might
pretty
have to
easy.
try that.
You never
Yeah.
made your own mayonnaise? Holy
No.
moly!
I've
When I
never,
was a
but it's
little
like
kid, my
3
grandmas
ingredients.
would make mayonnaise in like 5 seconds. Whenever they came out with that little thing, like a wand where you'd stick it in a glass and it could make mayonnaise, my grandmas would freaking love that thing, dude. They made mayonnaise before with a fork in a glass, but yeah, like mayonnaise ain't nothing. I didn't like it when they made it though, because they usually threw anchovies and shit in it back in the old days.
Grim wants to know how deviled eggs didn't make it out of the first round. It's because they went up against burgers.
Yeah, they went up against hamburgers. I'm surprised hamburgers didn't make it all the way. Somehow they got derailed by sandwiches.
I think it was kind of the same idea of side or main.
Gizzard.
We were all very torn on that one.
You gonna go chicken or sandwiches, Gizzard?
Anytime I'm given the chance to not eat the unnecessary carbs, I'm gonna go for it. I mean, they're both finger foods. You can hold barbecue chicken in your hand and eat it, and you can hold a sandwich in your hand and eat it. But barbecue chicken tastes better, less carbs, better for you. Going with the chicken.
Yeah, but he said it's going to have a bunch of syrupy carbs all on it and it's going to make you wipe your face with all the carbs. So I'm just saying.
Still going with the chicken.
You could go with lettuce wrap sandwich.
Yeah, could have got a sandwich with some sort of healthy protein wrap.
Still going with the chicken.
What if they'd made one of them bacon,
Final answer.
one of those bacon like mats, by weaving bacon together and use that to wrap your sandwich?
I'm gonna go sandwich. So this is this is gonna have to go to the chat. They're gonna decide the winner.
I would just,
can't. I do love barbecue chicken, grilled chicken with barbecue sauce, but you can't beat a good sandwich.
yeah, it's really tough.
Do any of you guys have like a sandwich maker that like you put it in there and it grills the sandwich into like whatever that's called, where you grill them?
I did. We did have a panini press, but we didn't use it very often.
I found that the George Foreman works amazing for
Isn't it?
grilling sandwiches.
It just goes to 1,000 degrees immediately. It's fucking amazing. You put like two in there, you get a big one. I've worn out like 3 sandwich makers like that because they're really not made to squish a sandwich usually, because I buy cheap ones. I get cheap ones at like thrift stores or whatever. But I've gone through 3 of them, like, wearing them out and breaking the hinge.
Grilled cheese on a George Foreman, amazing.
We bought a George Foreman because I wanted one to cook chicken on, but it dries the chicken out.
Yep.
Yeah, I imagine.
Way better for grilled cheese.
But once you figure out you can squish a sandwich into like toasting the bread or whatever, it makes sandwiches like even 1,000 times better than they already were.
So,
well, now that I've seen a lot of people making a sandwich, shoving it into a waffle maker and squishing it, and I've thought about doing that. Except I'm like Gizzard, I'm not really eating the carbs right now.
It's a back and forth battle out there. We're tied up 50-50. So hopefully we'll get a few more votes.
I think every time that it's gone out to the audience, it's been a 50-50 where you're waiting on one more vote to come in.
I think so.
This has been
before it was 10, now it's only 6, so we're missing quite a few people who got sick of this. 7.
We'll give it just another minute or so.
You got 7. Sandwich is winning. You can.
Now's your chance to be heard.
No, you can end it right now.
Chicken or sandwich?
No means. I would like. Oh, 2 more votes for sandwich. It's not even possible for barbecue chicken to win. Even though the barbecue's going to go use all his fake accounts now.
Nope. I would just like to go on record and say that at the beginning of this, I did say that burger or sandwich would be in the finals, and one of them would probably win. So if sandwich does win, I was right again.
I really thought hamburger would wail on it.
I was surprised.
Grim said BLT for the win.
Yes. Except that's kind of hard to make at a picnic or whatever.
BLTs are great. I love BLTs. Would you buy a BLT from a sandwich shop?
I do. That's almost all I ever buy is a BLT. Yeah. I
have trouble doing that because it always seems like a lot of money for 3 ingredients. Well, 4.
I still like to make bolts, which I've explained this before. I don't think it was on Foster's show. I think it was actually Gary's. If people are wondering what a bolt is, that's a bacon, onion, lettuce, tomato.
Yes, I'll take that. And pickle. I'll take that.
Let's say, I'm sorry, but like whoever decided to forget about the onion on that sandwich, I'm pretty sure it's communist. Like, add onion, whether it's red onion, sweet onion, yellow onion, white onion, I don't care. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, I've never had that, but I love onions, so I think I'd like that.
It would be good.
Sandwich has won the bracket.
And in my mind, it was a BLT that won the bracket.
It is the best picnic food.
I would have thought cake would be on there instead of pie. Sloppy pie that attracts flies versus a nice moist cake with a credible frosting.
I love cake. But it's not really a picnic food.
Well, sometimes you see it on the olden days when they'd have like a wicker picnic basket.
How about homemade ice cream?
Yeah, I really think ice cream.
Oh, man.
For sure.
Homemade ice cream is an entirely different ball game. But I'd just like to go on record again, say that I was right at the beginning of this. You folks are welcome. Even though I did not vote for the winner in the end.
So barbecue.
Get a big thing of ice in a cooler, and then all the stuff to make ice cream, whipping cream, I guess, whatever. And then you get those. You guys have seen these ice cream makers that are like balls?
Yeah. that roll around.
Yeah, you can kick them around. So then you let the kids go out and kick them around for a while, and then come back with ice cream.
There was one that was designed to go in the back of your car, so as you're driving, it'll roll around.
Nice.
Barbecue, what you got coming up?
On Tuesday or Wednesday, my YouTube timeout that they put me in should be up. So we'll try and do a show on Thursday now. I actually have an idea for a bracket for that one. It's not where I'm just pulling something out of thin air right before the show. It's going to be the most iconic gun in U.S. history. Yeah. I thought that should be a pretty fun one. All kinds of things that could go on there, I'm sure. People will be like, how would you leave this off? And because you get to make your own bracket if you don't like it. But with that, that's what I've got. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for doing this. I hope you do it more often.
G-Webs, you got what you got coming up?
Doing the daily gun show once in a while, so tune in for that. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for the invite. Like he said, hopefully keep doing it.
Gizzard.
Sorry about that. I got a show tomorrow night. Might come by and see it. I, for one, vote that you do this every Sunday. This was fun. Thanks for having me.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I do really enjoy spending the time with you guys and with everybody out in the chat. I did miss it. I thought I was done. I gave away all my stickers, deleted a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know. I won't make any promises.
I could be persuaded to send some or all of those stickers back to you, by the way. They're still in the box you sent them.
I'll have to think upon it for a little while.
Just let me know. I'll even pay for the postage. I don't care.
I do enjoy it. I will admit. So hopefully everybody else had fun out there in the chat. I appreciate you being there. Like I said, I had a short that came out today. If I stop being lazy, I'll get some other ones done. But I think other than that, I hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Go out and enjoy yourself. We'll talk to you later.